Okay. All the stuff and things are now
At some
powering
point,
up.
this music is going to like start over.
Start over?
It happens every week or something where I think like it stopped. It did.
Oh, because the way it ends. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
On YouTube yet. Ah, there we are. What's up, Chris H? What's up, Tesla Rock? What's up, Evan?
Jambona, chickpea-tota. Chickadooking. Alright, Chris, Tesla Rock, Evan, how goes it? Alright. We're good there. Let me go check out the thingy thing. That signal. That signal is out. What else? What else? I'm gonna re-Facebook it. My Facebooks. Chopping and screwing like Skrillex.
Uh-oh, your Cintiq turned off in the background.
Oh no. Peter's got a mustache. I know. Dun, 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 dun. Just clearing the cache on the live page. Come on, YouTube. Do your thing, please. Cache cleared successfully. Activate. Alright. The site's looking good. Facebook is good. Tell my Slack to go to sleep.
Oh, snap.
What?
Nothing.
Well,
You gonna have us up in the background?
Ooh.
Oh. Inception.
Oh my god.
Moception. Get it right.
Mostception. Why do I hear
Okay.
talking?
What?
Dave, is that you? Hold on. Oh, never mind. That's because I got the volume up on my YouTube.
Oh, on your YouTube.
Disregard that.
On your YouTube.
Amateur. Such an amateur.
What is this? Amateur hour? Ooh, Penny's frozen. Let me fix that real
Oh
quick.
man.
If anything happens during the show,
There we
we'll
go.
just roll with it. If it's something like a frozen screen or something, I'll just fix it. We don't have to stop and discuss it. It'll be fine. And then if it's, like we lose a recording or something goes down or Skype gets weird, we'll pause for the cause and we'll go from there. So. All right. Looks like we're up on all the streams. Everybody's here. Oh, we don't have chats coming through. Let's double.
No.
I always got to refresh the chats, and I don't know why. All right, somebody say something in the chat real quick. I will too. Hi. Something. Yo yo yo.
Annie, do I follow you on Instagram?
Probably not.
What?
I don't. I
It's
should.
not cool.
What's your Instagram?
Baffled by foxes.
Mm-hmm.
Baffled by Foxes.
Yeah, it's got a fox in it. I'm wearing a jean vest.
Yeah.
I'm a
Aw,
hipster.
man.
It's just how I do it.
Yeah, Dan Marino was just mentioning the anime explosions. Dude, you need to do a tutorial on this.
I
On
know
the
you've
what
been
now?
saying that.
I know, because it's amazing.
On what? What are you talking about?
Or just sell a pack of them, you know?
All right. All right. Let's start
You
rolling.
you inspired me to post them, so yeah.
Got to make that money.
Got to post them so Chris Brown can steal them. All right. We're going to talk about that today.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm going to start rolling audio. So if y'all want to start the audio rolling,
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Already rolling.
we're gonna have no mercy on Chris Brown today. Hate to tell you.
I don't know who that is.
Chris Brown, what is he?
The guy
Hip-hop,
who
R&B?
beat Rihanna.
Oh, that dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, the one who sang "Double
Yes.
the flavor, double the fun."
The woman
So
beater.
that the woman beater.
Yeah. Oh, he's a
Okay.
musician
Yeah,
too?
I thought you were
Well,
talking about some motion graphics guy.
No,
No.
no.
He's a woman beater and an art stealer. And also he writes
He sounds
music.
like trash.
Basically.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see. We're going here. I'm
Nothing
rolling.
yet,
Are you
Mr.
rolling?
Prescott.
Are you rolling?
I am rolling. Yes.
Yeah, we're not talking about anything yet. Penny, you rolling?
Yes, I am.
All right, cool.
Rolling with the homies.
All right.
Okay.
We're gonna. Oh boy.
I'm just adjusting.
Oh boy.
Just
You having an
adjusting.
earthquake? You're not in California.
Yep.
Hope there's no earthquakes when we're at Seagraph.
I really hope not.
Not gonna like that, especially in a building full of things that are hanging by chains. All right.
Wait, what?
What?
Hold on. Just keep going.
You may need to center up a little, Matt.
Am I not centered?
You're uncentered now. There you go. All right. Let's do our sync clap real quick, and then we'll get going. Running a little late here, so. All right, we're gonna clap on. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, clap. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. All right. Okay, I think we are good. Good. Check. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Yes. We're live on the internet, so let's do this.
All right.
Good?
Yeah.
Your recording still good?
You talking to me?
Good? Okay, cool. All right. What up, and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt, and joining us today is our good friend, Miss Penelope Nederlander.
Hello.
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. And you can email us, info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show, questions, concerns, queries. Let us know what you want to hear. What topics do you want us to talk about? It can be noob, it can be expert. We will try and adjust ourselves to the whole expert thing. I don't know. The favorite moments are coming in. We're getting favorite moments, and we prefer those over email for the episode 200, which we have no idea what we're doing for that. But episode 200, we're going to list some of the favorite moments from different people. We're going to play some outtakes and maybe some other fun things. But if you email your favorite moment, info@mograph.com, if you have... even if you have an episode and time code where you would like me to grab something from, that would help me even more because it's way too hard for me to figure that out just, on my own and go back through all of that. There's who knows how many months worth of chatter on record.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I want that one episode where I tried telling that really bad joke,
Yes.
And I mean, there's been two I know of where I've tried
So
to tell
all of
a
them.
joke.
Oh.
And and I couldn't get through it because I was just laughing so hard. Anyway,
Oh, yes. I do remember that.
Yeah,
Gosh,
yeah.
what
it
episode
was
is
the
that?
one about I don't know. It was
I don't think we
early
were doing
because
video
it was
yet.
2 houses ago. It was
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it was
Yeah. It was a
2
long
houses
time ago.
ago.
Well, let us know.
So-
Let us know. Favorite moments. And then this week, got quite a few things here on the week wrap-up list. Number one, Matt, you actually did a little Mac Pro Tower hack. this week. You didn't talk about
Oh,
that
yeah.
last week, did you? I thought that was last week.
No, it was last week.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm just trying to line up my camera.
Did you get that working? Or
Yeah, I got it working. So and after doing all this,
mm-hmm.
I see exactly where we are going to run into problems with Mac, with Apple.
Well, explain
So-
what you did.
Okay, so I've got an old 2009 Mac Pro,
Mhm.
right? And I was really upset because I couldn't update it or anything like that. Like Apple was just like, "Screw you, pal. You can't have anything nice in this world."
Mhm.
Even though it's a super, fast computer, and it still renders, After Effects faster than any of the computers I've got.
Mm-hmm.
So, there was a hack online somewhere that would allow you to upgrade the firmware to make Apple think that it's a 2010 Mac Pro, so that you could upgrade to like, Mojave and stuff like that. Or what's the other one?
I have no idea anymore.
Sierra Mist or something.
Catalina.
No, it's not
Sierra
Catalina.
Mist?
It's the one right before Mojave. Sierra
Dr.
something.
Pepper. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway,
So so I was able to install the firmware. I ran into some issue where it just would not update. Turns out I had to upgrade the firmware first to some newer firmware that my computer needed, and then I could upgrade the hack firmware.
that sounds dangerous.
And then I was able to install. No, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. I was worried, but I was like, I told myself, I was like, I don't use this computer for anything, so if it bricks, whatever, it bricks. Who cares? Whatever.
All right.
So I could just So I went through, I did that, and so I was wanting to upgrade to Mojave because I've got Mojave on my laptop, and it was running pretty nice. I'm like, well, okay, I want to be on the newest one to get used to it, but turns out that when I was trying to upgrade, I had an AMD card in there, an old one, and they're like, no, you can't do that because you have to have a card that has metal in it, that works off of metal.
Right.
Like, oh, okay, that's weird. So that knocks out almost all NVIDIA cards, with the exception of a 680 Ti for Mac. So I was like, oh, okay, it's a 680 Ti. I'll just go online. They probably got them for like $20, right, on eBay. They're still like $300. All because people are wanting to stick with NVIDIA for upgrading to Mojave. But there's only like maybe 5 or 6 cards that will actually be able to upgrade in these Mac Pros, and they're so expensive. These cards are so expensive, all because they have to run metal.
This is why we've been pushed out of Mac.
Yeah.
This is why. This is exactly why. How is it going to get any better?
The thing is, if NVIDIA upgraded their drivers or whatever in order to work with metal, then it'd be fine. But because they can't, I can't even install my 980 Ti in my computer, my extra 980 Ti
ridiculous.
into this computer.
That's ridiculous.
It just doesn't see them.
Here's the problem with buying the new one. You buy the new $10,000 one. That's what's going to happen to you in a little bit. Oh my gosh, Beeple's on.
Hi, Beeple. What's going on?
He says your new haircut is dope.
That's what I do.
What's up, Mike? I really hope that you do a Chris Brown daily. I'm just saying.
Yeah, do a Chris Brown daily.
We'll talk about that in a bit. No, that's what's going to happen when you get that new $10,000 computer and you put it out there and start trying to use metal or whatever on it. What's going to happen in 5 or 6 years whenever that computer is still a beast, but they just push you out of the ecosystem again because they won't allow updates just because reasons.
Yep. I agree.
If you buy something cheaper, you can keep it and you can swap things out. If something's not compatible, you just spend a little bit of money on a new one instead of a whole nother thing. I want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know what I'm saying? Is that the right use of that term? I don't know. I don't know. So, long story short, that was a big hassle.
Yeah.
So
it's cool. It's cool to have the new operating system. I don't feel so left behind. And if I want to do something with it, if I wanted to use it as an extra render node, for Deadline or something like that, which I have been that was my whole purpose for upgrading this, because I want to I want to hook up all this Deadline stuff so that we've got some extra, power
Mhm.
and whatever for After Effects.
Yeah.
To be able to, I want to be able to render After Effects, efficiently, and so I need 7 computers to do it.
Right. Yeah. Because
So.
that will give you at least 5 frames of RAM preview.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, other things on the agenda. No spoilers. Did you watch the new Stranger Things yet?
On episode 7, we got 2 more. Me and my wife. We were up last night.
No spoilers.
Oh,
No
no
spoilers.
We were up last night, and we finished episode 6. And I was like, oh man, I really want to keep going, but it's already 1 in the morning,
Mhm.
and I know if we keep going, it's going to be like 3 or 4 in the morning by the time I finish. And I just can't do that to myself.
What do you think about the effects so far, without giving anything away?
I have thought they've been very good. I've thought it's been a really good, like, you can tell that they've
Got more
upgraded
budget.
significantly. Yeah, that they've
Yeah.
got a bigger budget.
There's still that's the
So.
problem with being in this industry, is you so easily notice the little things that nobody even cares about. Like at the beginning, I think I saw some sparks that went off in something that were like not motion tracked to the camera movement. And I was like, oh, they just threw the sparks in there and didn't even keyframe them to make them look. It was just like hanging in midair, and there were a couple little things like that where I'm like, but it's not that it's bad. It's just that I notice things because, that's what we all do, right? So we go,
Yep.
Let's
Notice
see.
bad cuts. All
Notice
the time.
bad. Oh, the bad cuts, man.
Yeah.
Have I talked about that before? What drives me nuts is when people do they do the one camera shoots now, and they'll shoot the whole thing one way and shoot the whole thing the other way, and they don't have the cutaway. So they use a cutaway where they're saying something else, and it's super obvious, like from behind, that the other person is not saying that.
I've seen that a lot on Parks and Rec. Did that a lot.
And
I noticed that a lot on Parks and
New
Rec.
Girl is really bad about that.
Yeah.
So, other things. Mario Maker 2 is out.
So good.
Penny, do you have a
So
Switch?
good.
Do I have a Switch?
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, but I haven't gotten into it really. I bought it a couple
Really?
years ago because I just needed it, and then I didn't.
I need
I
that.
just need it.
I need that though.
I love Zelda games so much, and I would
Uh-huh.
like play every Zelda since the NES, and then I just couldn't get into the controls. It was too complicated for my brain.
So you haven't
Really?
played the new one?
I haven't.
Yeah, what is it called? Windy Breath? What is it?
Yeah,
The
Breath of the
Zelda?
Breath of the Zelda. Yeah.
Zelda Breath.
Zelda.
Yeah, no,
Zelda.
I started playing it, and all I kept doing was throwing my weapons off of cliffs by accident.
Well, I can
Because
understand
I
the
couldn't-
controller thing. It's like opposite controls of Xbox. So it's like
I haven't really played it for more than like 5 minutes. I'm not like a big invest my time in a game type person.
Oh, EJ and David are just talking about
I
how
know.
much time they're wasting in Zelda right now, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, I don't know if I want to play that because
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of
See,
time.
I
but-
enjoyed Mario Odyssey because like I could knock it out in like 2 days.
Is that the Hattie one?
Yeah, that one's pretty fun. It's really fun.
The Mario
So-
Maker 2 is really good because it's okay, somebody told me Mario 2 is in there. I haven't seen anything Mario 2 in it.
No, there's no Mario.
I don't know
2.
why. Okay, but it's got Mario 1, 3, Mario World, and what's the other one? One of the more
Mario
recent.
Wii U and
Okay. Yeah.
Mario 3DS or something like
Okay.
that.
No, it's
Yeah.
really good. I really like how they
It is.
do it. So it's like game mode is like some of the most famous levels that creators have made in
Oh, yeah?
on the interwebs. And what's great is they actually give you credit for what you created. They give you credit for what you created. See, that's the theme of our show today. Is getting credit for things
Give it-
that you do.
Yeah.
So
Right.
other things on the agenda, Camp Mograph. Let's see. Let's reiterate the instructors and camp counselors, shall we?
Do it.
Shall we? Oh,
Sure,
I need to
do
do it. Ah, you know. You know all the
The
people.
one who's bringing it up.
Well,
I do know
well,
everyone.
that's fine.
I
I'm
know
gonna have to pull
everyone.
up the video because I wasn't ready for this, yo.
Oh,
All right,
gosh.
so instructors, we've got. Let's see. I'm just gonna have to go to the interwebs
Here,
to pull this
there we
up.
go.
All right.
Nah, I got the staff up here.
Okay.
All right.
There you go. You do it.
All right, so instructors, we've got Jax Johnson, Satine Phoenix, EJ Hassenfratz, Greg Gunn, Patrick Goski, Caitlin Kaju, and Casey Hupke. For our fireside chat speakers, we've got Aaron Sorofsky, Ryan Summers, and Barton Damer. As our counselors, we've got Phil Roberts, Raid Zero, Gurnge, Billy Chitkin, David Ariev, Chelsea Ariev, Penny is joining us. Yeah. David Brodeur, Nick Reed, and a couple others of my friends.
I'm super excited.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be fun.
A killer event. Make sure and get your tickets.
Penny, I want to know what questions you have about Camp Mograph.
Golly, what questions do I have?
Like, and what do you want to do for fun at Camp Mograph? Like, you're going to get there. Obviously, there's some classes to go to, some fireside chats, but there's so many activities and things like that.
You know, I'm really excited for the stuff that's not like computery, like the you know, like I really want to take that. There's an illustration class, right?
It's more character design.
Yeah. No, I want to take that. Yeah, you know, all right. So I hated summer camp. You know,
oh boy.
Parents were getting a divorce and decided it would be great to just shoot me off for like, you know, 8 weeks every summer, and I hated it. All the kids knew each other.
8 weeks?
That's a long time.
A lot.
That's so long.
I was 6 my first year.
Really?
I hated it. It was terrible. I went 5 years in a row, and I wouldn't go again after that.
Wow.
After I developed some agency.
Good Lord, that's a long time. Man. All right. Well.
So this is like this is it. Not too much pressure, but.
Right.
This is you recouping my childhood.
I hope so. Sorry.
80s style.
I hope we don't bring back any like PTSD like camp stuff, you know.
No, it'll be more it'll be more like what's a good name for it? Revitalization, and
yes.
It'll be a redo. It'll be a complete redo of your childhood camp days. You can take this and insert the memory there, and then just look back on when you went to Camp Mograph when you were a kid.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Phil, actually, because we haven't seen him IRL in a long time. So
yeah,
we can
since NAB,
watch the telly and eat an ice lolly, you know? And so... also,
you don't have to be into camping if you want to come to Camp Mograph.
That's true.
I mean, we've got the cabins and everything, so it's not really going to be roughing it.
Yeah, and I see some entries coming in as well for the Bendy Limbs rig contest.
Oh yeah.
To get a free copy of that, and the way that you do that,
I really like. I played around with the Bendy Limbs this week.
Yeah,
I really liked it.
You did.
It's super easy to use. You know. The only thing that I was a little confused about is you have to have separate like arm, legs. You know, they all have to be separate from the body. You know.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, like, man, it's super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. Really easy to set up.
Well,
and what's nice is like when I did a quick little animation with it, and I did 2 different characters. One was using bendy limbs, and one was like a little robot person that I, just rigged up myself. And it was cool. So like the little dude using bendy limbs, it's cool because like when you're, I don't know, it's easy to create these like super exaggerated like when the what's the movements? I don't remember. Anyway. But like, the legs were stretching, the squash and stretch stuff. Jeez, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Like it's really easy to create the cool squash and stretch animation with it.
Well, there's the contest. Don't forget about the contest. I've seen some entries come in. So remember, if you go to our Instagram or our, well, I guess it would really have to be Twitter for this. But I guess you could do either. I'll just look and see. Yeah, you could do either on this. So
you can share a story.
You guys share a story if it's Instagram, but if you retweet it on Twitter, use the hashtag Camp Mograph, the hashtag Bendy Limbs, and then make sure that you tag iDesign and Camp Mograph on that. And then you could get a free copy of Bendy Limbs.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's that, and then the Monkey Legs judging is happening right now. It's in process. Of course, we had the 4th of July in there, and we had my crazy weekend with lots of tooth achiness, unfortunately. So I had the worst tooth pain in the universe, and I've had a tooth pulled before, way back in the day. But I've never, other than that, I've never had any other dental problems like cavities or anything like that. And so I had this pain that was just, I wanted to rip my head off, right? And by Sunday, it's like so bad. I'm like, where am I going to find a dentist on Sunday? So I go to this emergency place and they can't find anything. So then I look like, you know, some druggie who's trying to come in to get pain meds, right? You know, and that's the crappy part. When you have that kind of pain now, it's ruined for everybody. It's ruined. You cannot get, you know, a decent painkiller anymore. And they're like, we don't see anything. They're showing me the x-rays. There's no cavity. There's no anything. And finally I said, here's the deal. Like, you know, I got a popcorn kernel stuck in there about a month ago, and it hurt, and I pulled it out and it was fine. He said, is there any way that like something's under my gum? And so he looks and he gets the hook thing and he pulls it out in his glove. There's a less than 1 millimeter little piece of popcorn kernel that went under my gum, and it sat there for like 3 days and just caused like, it's insane what it does to your body. Like your nerves are shot. It's insane. Yeah. So if I'm a little loopy today, it's because I'm on painkillers.
I ended up in the emergency room because of a root canal, a botched root canal.
Yeah.
And that was awful.
Yeah.
Like it was the only time in my life I actually felt like I was going to die.
Oh man.
Like I started to worry that I was going to die because it was the worst pain I've ever been in my life.
I've heard actually some women say that tooth pain can be worse than labor. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I heard that and I was like, man, if that's true, then geez, that is, it's awful. It is awful. But anyway, I know, so I had a lot of delays. Penny, I was trying to edit your video from DFWC4D last week. I just didn't get to it, but that will be out in the next week or so. And then we've got Slack. I also promised Slack would be, sorry, y'all. I'm super behind. Just getting ready for SIGGRAPH and you know, being toothache. So Slack, I will open up Slack, I promise. And Matt, you have a promo code here for the SIGGRAPH events only badge if you're going to SIGGRAPH.
Yeah. What is it? I forgot. CG Trader 19, all caps.
I thought it was fireworks.
No, that was for NAB.
Oh, that's for NAB. Okay.
Yeah,
CG
that was
Trader...
for NAB New York. So if you're going to NAB New York,
you got both. Okay.
And if you want a free exhibit only badge for that, use fireworks. If you're going to SIGGRAPH, or if you want a free exhibit only for SIGGRAPH, use the code CG Trader 19.
Okay. So I'm curious who's going to SIGGRAPH, because there's not a release lineup for Maxon yet. I haven't heard too much chatter. I haven't had not too much chatter in the Slack. But is anybody in the chat right now going to SIGGRAPH? I'd like to know. Because we are trying to organize some sort of podcast, possibly on Monday night, because there's no show until Tuesday. So, but we're waiting to find out schedule.
Crazy limo karaoke.
Oh, good Lord! No,
not this time.
No, that's just an NAB thing. That's expensive. Yeah. That's really expensive. So, Penny, you're going to SIGGRAPH.
I
right?
am.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good,
and I'm rolling with a bunch of my Rooster Teeth friends too.
Nice.
Well, that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anyone we know?
Doubt it.
No. Okay.
Probably not.
Okay.
I don't know.
Brian going? I mean, he's still
I don't
technically a
know.
Rooster Teeth friend, right?
Yeah, I mean that's how I know him. Sure.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd have to ask him.
It'd be cool if he was. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing everybody there. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And gosh, that was a lot of week wrap-up stuff. But let's move on to some Ravcock. What's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
So the only thing that I do have today for render engines.
Had a little bit more flourish at the end.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty good. C4D Octane 2019.1 XB2 Test 1 is now out for Cinema 4D. Basically, the new Octane in Cinema 4D test, if you'd like to try it out and see. Yeah. Matt, you actually opened it up this morning for a minute.
Yeah, I just wanted to try some of the stuff. And so, Any thoughts?
Okay. Any thoughts? Any good?
The spotlight doesn't work. That's
really?
Yeah.
What is it?
So it's interesting. So you make the spotlight, and everywhere where the spotlight should be is black, and everywhere where the spotlight shouldn't be is light.
So
It's like there's something blocking it.
Negative
or something,
spotlight,
you know?
inverted
Yeah,
spotlight.
it's a negative spotlight.
It sucks
My
light
wife just
out.
came in. She said, "Hey, tell Penny I said hi."
Oh, hi.
That's funny. Oh, the upscaler. The upscaler's in. I want to check out the upscaler.
Oh yeah, I haven't tried that.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Impulse said the upscaler is a bit sketchy. Well, it is beta, so
Yeah.
we'll wait and see what happens with that. So, I don't know much more than that.
There's the problem is like I just don't like. I'm not in one particular renderer every single day, you know. And there's been so many updates since I was using it every single day that like I don't know what's new anymore and what's like been there for a while.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's the same with cinema. You know, there's been so many updates. Like the other day, you were going through, you know, checking out, you know, stuff, and I was like, oh, this is actually in the current version.
Yeah. So, let's see what else. Oh no, that's it for Ravcock today. But let's go to topics.
Let's do it.
Because I want to know more about Penny, and not just about Matt's week last week. And so we've got some good topics today. And number one is that you've been freelancing again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like when I lived in LA, I did 10 years solid of freelancing, and then I moved here, got a job, was like creative director, art director for 4.5 years, and then it's back in the freelance game for about 4 months. And then I got a full-time job at Rooster Teeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a year and a half.
I was gonna say you weren't at Rooster Teeth for 4 years. No, go ahead.
No. That was Thousand Ships. Yeah. And so so like I am back on the game like for the last I don't know since I quit the end of March I want to say.
How do you like it?
I mean, it's just so much better.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so much better. Like, legit, I don't know if anyone's heard about all the Rooster Teeth stuff, but
I have. I was actually going to see if you wanted to talk about that at all today.
I haven't, actually. Can we talk about that, or is that a...
I am not, like, lawyery to know, like, what, you know, my, like, contract says that I couldn't do, but what I can say is that I put in over 400 hours of overtime.
Oh, dear.
During the 6-month season. And like, so there was a thing, like, there's a lot of Glassdoor reviews from employees who, you know, are there, got laid off, quit, whatever. And someone found them and posted them on Tumblr. That's the bad one, right? They're all bad.
Yeah.
And then that made its way onto a subreddit, and it exploded like maybe 3 weeks ago.
Oh, no way.
Because it was like I think they got like something over 10,000 updoots.
What's updoots? That's only if you're into skeletons, right? Mr. Skeleton updoots. Oh, the internet.
I don't know. Like,
I love the internet.
It depends on the subreddit, right? The skeleton stuff are updoots.
Yeah.
The like the R trees, the pot subreddit.
Yeah.
That's up tokes. You know.
See, I didn't even know that.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I should know.
I've never been a part of Reddit and whatever. But it went big. There's a whole bunch of like videos on YouTube now of like kind of talking about it, and the CEO publicly apologized. And
I was gonna say on Cartoon Brew, they did a whole article about it. I don't know, but like,
what subreddit?
It's the Ruby subreddit or the Rooster Teeth subreddit.
Is the Rooster Teeth subreddit? I believe.
Oh, okay.
I think I remember reading it.
All right.
Yeah. So like history, I was the lead comp artist for the show Ruby, which for a couple years was their biggest show, and 1 million views an episode kind of thing. So pretty big for like an internet show.
Yeah.
And I want to say that like 95% of the people I worked with at Rooster Teeth were awesome. My team was rad. I had a team of like 8 comp artists and then some additional comp contractors that worked under me that were just a pleasure to work with. My VizPost supervisor and producer and all these people, the director, Carrie, fantastic. There's a few people at the top that were responsible for untenable work hours. And
yeah,
I mean, just, like I was looking back. I recorded my hours in a spreadsheet, and one of the weeks I was like, oh, that's 1 week where I worked less than 40 hours, but it was a 3-day week during the holidays. Like, because it was,
gosh.
yeah, so it was
Yeah.
like, okay, I've got a day off for Christmas or 2 days off for Christmas, but then I'm going to work, like 12 hours, 3 days to make up for it.
So
It was,
that means you're very much enjoying the contract life. I'm guessing then.
yeah, I mean, like just the idea that, you work a long day, you can charge for it,
Right.
If you don't, that's on you. That's not someone else,
Yeah.
putting that on you.
Are you having? How are you doing as far as like getting new clients and stuff? With stopping and starting, I can imagine you've kind of got to get back in the game and tell all your clients like, "Hey, I'm back." That kind of thing. Is that going well? Are you?
Well,
Or
all
is
right,
it
so
our typical
Yeah,
struggle?
I mean, yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, because we, as freelancers, we all have slowdowns or something like that,
Mhm.
or you're getting back into the freelance world. I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure have no fear of being freelance, because you've done it for so long. I mean, I'm sure there's maybe just a little bit, but like, I mean, how do you jump back into it?
well, so like my LA time, I mean, it was slow in the very beginning when I first got out of school, but
Mm-hmm.
I built up clients, and like working in LA at that time was pretty effortless. Like you do good work, you finish your jobs on time, you're fast enough, they'll keep hiring you. And there was enough like cross pollination between producers and art directors that, someone would go to a new shop and be like, oh, who should we get for this? Oh, well, call up Penny. Oh, okay, cool. And so I would get, like new clients just from people moving to new companies.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never had a reel. Oh, no, not a reel. I never had a resume. I never sent out resumes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If someone needed to see a reel, I had it online, and that was great. But I feel like I'm back to how I was when I first moved to Los Angeles with a suitcase full of VHSs, right? Where I'm,
Yeah.
because that's how we used to do it before DVDs.
Right.
Yeah. I think that the stop and start was a little bit hard for clients because it's weird, that time period when I moved here and I took the full-time job, I would still get emails from LA clients and be like, hey, oh, remote is cool. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm full-time at this place. I can't take remote work.
Mm-hmm.
And then they stopped calling. And then I quit, or I got laid off from that job. And I'm like, hey, I'm freelance again. Oh, great. Awesome. And then, oh, sorry, I can't take those jobs because I've gone full-time somewhere else.
Right. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You come off as like flaky or something like that. And yeah, I get that.
And then factor in my own anxiety about like interpersonal relationships. And my favorite client from Los Angeles has been really great. Like if I have free time, like I will tell them and they'll be like, oh, I think we have a job. They're the ones who I did like the Tick title and Tales from the Tour Bus and stuff. My main title client. And this last time I had to take another job that I was on hold for them. And I'm like, hey, can I challenge? Okay, you can't book me, great. And then I wrote, they're like, let us know when you are free again. And so at the end of the job, at the end of the month, I wrote them and I got no reply. And then I was like, oh, okay, all right. Obviously, I should think the worst. And so I'm like, I'm going to give them a little bit of space. And then like a month later, I wrote them again. And I'm like, hey, just letting you know I'm free. Like if you have any jobs, no reply. And so immediately they hate me. I'm positive. And I finally like texted the producer again and just like, hey, are we cool? Did I do anything to screw up? Did I say something in like one of my presentations? No. And he was just like, no, we're just not busy. We're cool. We got stuff coming up. And so I guess I'm going to get more work, I hope. But
yeah.
I read a tweet from Ryan Summers this week, who just happened to mention that a lot of people have been telling him that it's just been slow as of late. And I don't know if that's just the summer. It hasn't been slow for us this year, like up until like the last 1 or 2 weeks. All of a sudden.
Yeah.
But, it's summer and you're always like, people are on vacation. They're all going to come back. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the end of August, September, and everybody's going to be ramping up again. It's really hard to tell. I don't think a 2-week lull for us really gives us a clear idea of anything, But apparently a lot of people have been saying that it's been a little slow. I don't see how. People always need motion graphics. But, it's a collective lull, I guess.
Penny, what do
feel
you
like
do
when
whenever
there's
slow?
Yeah.
When I'm slow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
panic, eat,
Well,
eat
yes.
Okay.
things, drink things.
All
We
right.
all
No,
do that.
I mean, what I've been doing lately, and I was just saying this a little bit earlier, is like I'm really trying to figure out what to do with my time, and so I'm just like trying to teach myself new things and do little personal things, which is kind of not an area that I've ever really like. I was always kind of like testing things out on jobs,
Yeah.
but now I'm like, all right, well, here's some software I don't know. I'm gonna try cracking this open and learning it.
Yeah.
That's new to me.
So, like what? Redshift?
Okay, so yeah, I've been super into Redshift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I've just been avoiding using any third-party renderers for so long,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm tired of my friend John Robeson making fun of me constantly.
I think Redshift is a great
crap
one to
about it
get
forever.
into. It's like you're not going to go wrong with that. It's
Yeah,
it's going to
especially
be
with
there.
the acquisition, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
that kind of seals it pretty well into history.
It's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if I should feel bad that I skipped Octane, but
I think that
I just-
you
They're-
could, if you
they're-
learn Redshift first, you're going to be able to jump right into Octane with no issue. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I think it's good to know both. I still do. I still think it's good to know both. You never know what client's going to come to you and be like, hey, can you use Octane? I think if you're starting in Redshift and you're doing stuff in Redshift and then somebody comes to you and says, oh, hey, can you do Octane? I think you should just tell them yes. Because
I don't know. To
I
me,
think you're
it's
going to
all
be able to
about-
get enough
it's all
support
about-
and help, and it's easier to learn than it is Redshift, in my opinion. So
I think it's all about process. You know, you learn the process. They all transfer over to one another.
Mhm.
Like, Redshift, you kind of know Arnold. You know Standard, you kind of know V-Ray. It's all.
And nodes,
all-
then you can really jump into a lot
Yeah.
of things. Or how are you with nodes?
my issue with nodes in Redshift is I don't understand the math as well as I do with other programs. Like Espresso, I'm used to using Espresso or like After Effects expressions. Like the math is very one-to-one, and I'm finding that I'm not getting the results that I expect because
Right.
of like negative 1-to-1 or the way that floating
Yeah.
point math works. And like I still don't understand why I can't just use an invert to invert a curvature node, for instance, right? Like to me, it just seems to make sense that if I wanted an edge to not be, what is the default? White on a curvature because white is positive.
Matt?
I don't know. I think it might be black, but I'm not sure. Because
Okay,
I think
but
I just did this the other day, and then I had to invert it. And I was like,
Mhm.
this doesn't look good.
Yeah, but so that's like it. I do it, and then I have to like throw a range mapper on there and fiddle until I'm really just used to being able to like see the math in my head, writing expressions or in Espresso, and it just working. And that's because it's the visual
Right.
light stuff,
Yeah.
floating point stuff. It doesn't make as much
Yeah.
sense to me.
I'm about
I
halfway
get
through
there.
my Redshift training right now, by the way, and I mean I like it. I feel like that's such a great thing to know. But yeah, you're right. I've heard a lot of people say that about Redshift, that there are things that it's just like, why I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's great, and like I built this computer, and it's just super fun to like have that immediate. What happened there? You
Oh,
disappeared.
I was.
Matt was frozen.
Unbelievable. Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. Sorry, go ahead.
No, just I'm so used to my process in 3D has always been like, all right, let's see what this looks like in standard. All right, okay, now I want it to look a little nicer. Go to physical.
Mhm.
All right, sweet. It'd be great, some GI.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time for this. Okay, turn off
Yeah.
GI. And so
Yeah.
to actually be able to like do anything with GI and like much more natural lighting is a different feeling of 3D for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember like the thing that totally got me was the IPR, like not having to render buckets and just being able to see it immediately, like going from V-Ray to Octane. It was like, okay, I'm going to see how this looks. I'm going to wait 15 minutes,
Yeah.
versus to like instant feedback on my lighting. It's like, wow, that's insane.
I wonder if
Yeah.
some of those little oddities that people are like, why is this like that? If some of that's going to be kind of cleaned up now
What
that
do you mean?
Cinema 4D, since now that Maxon has taken over. So it's like there are little those little oddities as far as nodes go. I mean, Matt, you've brought
Oh.
up some of those things before. Like, why can't we just have it like this? It would be so easy if
Yeah.
it were like that.
The number one thing that annoys me so much is scaling like an image or something. Why is it that when I make the number bigger, it makes the image smaller? Like, no, I understand why. Someone explain this to me, because if you think about like, okay, so if I go from 1 to 2, I'm actually increasing the amount of,
Resolution
the amount of times that it like, shows up in
multiplies
the
it.
same space.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like you
Exactly.
understand the reason why, but can it
But-
just be, the other way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like every other thing you scale up, you make the number bigger and it makes the image bigger. You make it smaller and it makes it smaller. It just that
Yeah.
just doesn't make sense to me.
The Baron request line.
Baron
Okay.
request line.
He's going to be in LA, by the way.
He will be in LA.
He was talking
yeah.
in the Slack channel this morning. Everybody's like, sweet, we're all going to like barrage you with all of our things that we want in Cinema 4D,
I just want to be able to double click on the material and be able to
Oh, the material
set
window?
the default. No, set the default. what it
Yeah.
turns
So
into.
you because you
Yeah.
double click in the little material open window at the bottom, and it always
Yeah,
puts
yeah,
a
yeah.
standard material or a physical material.
Yeah, I want to be able to double click and then get like a Octane material.
Yeah.
Or
Or Redshift.
set whatever.
Default,
You
Yeah.
What bums me out is the that every render engine has things that you want, but they don't all have them. Like
Yeah.
I have a really hard time keeping like and I mean I get why. Obviously they're different companies and they're each like vying and trying to figure out new cool things to do to draw you to use theirs. But
Mhm.
like like Cycle's interface is gorgeous. The like
Yeah.
node interface.
Mhm.
And but like some things don't work in Cycles and some things like and I forget which one is which and I'm like, oh wait, now how do I get the particle color into the thing? And God, someone was saying this the other day, is like the interaction with like fields or something like that, being able to like pipe with Redshift, you have to pipe a thing into a vertex map and then the vertex map into a node. And like I hope that this bringing Redshift in and Redshift getting like, for instance, the noises, and I hope that there's also going to be more interconnectedness with
Mhm.
with the rest of the program.
Yeah.
I agree.
think that's what everybody's thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost my notes. Here we go. Okay, so something that you mentioned to me before the show for notes as well was the communities, when you're working remote. So if you're doing, I guess, a project for somebody working remote, obviously, from your cool setup you got back there, you're talking about these communities. Are you asking people for like advice on things? Are you showing people things in certain communities and getting feedback? Is that what you're talking about as far as communities? Like or are you talking about just to help in the day-to-day or chat with people? Like how do online communities help you in your day-to-day?
So I should probably start with, I'm not really a fan of like communities based around a thing. Like, I mean, just personally, I always end up getting frustrated because like, I don't think that one thing. So getting involved with people, getting to meet. Oh,
Jabe, sorry.
No,
Everyone's
it's not
saying-
dead. Keep going.
Okay.
Remember when I said, like, when things happen, I'll just fix them and we don't have to stop?
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Well,
Keep going.
you can hear me now?
go ahead.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
fine.
Hey, all right, sweet. Yeah. So basically, anyways, long story short. Sorry, day drinking's a bitch. I've just found to be able to like, all those things, ask questions of people, recommend people. I had an agency thing where I couldn't take a really small little project. So I asked Liam if he would take it, and
Mhm.
he did, and that was great because then I don't have to like turn someone away. I can
Yeah.
move it over to them. And I was working with him at Quince Imaging, him and Zubair, because they needed another person, and I know them through this community. And so just from like the networking standpoint, it's nice to know that in Austin I can rely on asking a technical question or getting to know people, expanding my circles of work and influence and inspiration. And that's a very new thing for me in my life.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe that because there was such a big scene in LA, that it's like, for me, it's like, it's almost like I need a fix, I need my fix. I got to get online. I gotta talk to someone,
Yeah, you're Mr.
But,
Chatty
like,
Chat. That's the thing.
I am.
Yeah.
Like, I read every single comment in
Oh
our
my
Slack
God,
out of the 800 channels we have.
It's
I
ridiculous.
mean, it's very creepy.
But it's like, I don't know. I just like, that's where I am, but I'm sure if I was in a place where we actually had motion graphics artists, that isn't Dallas, Texas, that it may be different, or if I was working with the team. So
I enjoy
Yes.
working with a team on Slack, like not on like the Mograph Slack, but like on our own personal Slack. I like being able to bounce things off in that way. But man, I don't know how you I don't know how you set your phone to vibrate every time someone says anything in any channel on Slack.
well, I got to
How?
turn it off sometimes. There's when I get into the flow and stuff,
It
I gotta
got
turn
to
it
the
off.
point where my phone was vibrating like every 5 seconds. And,
Oh, yeah,
and this
that
was like
happens.
a year and a half ago. And I was like, nope, I'm not going to have that distraction in my life. That is not going to happen. I will peruse channels as much as I can, but there's no way. Like, it sucks that I
Yeah.
miss some stuff sometimes, and I hate that. And hopefully, I get all the questions or whatever that people at me and all that kind of stuff. But man, how do you do that?
I mean, I snooze it all the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I snooze it all the time, but like when I'm driving, I snooze it. If I'm like intensely focused on a project, I'll snooze it. But I always go back and just read through everything, just skim through it. I want to know what the conversations are about.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And
Is I just
sometimes
skim.
sometimes I'm like, ooh, I'm glad I'm not a part of this conversation. This is a tough subject. I'm glad no one added me. So.
And we should have brought this up earlier too, but you switched to PC not too long ago.
I did.
Like
How are you
I
liking
did.
that?
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I really miss the ecosystem of just the Mac OS.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And like I stuck with it because the time savings I had with just those little OS-y things and being able to like it to talk to my iPad and my iPhone
Mhm.
and how easy it was to set up networks. I
Yeah.
always was my own IT, so at various times I've had half a dozen workstations and servers, and when they're a Mac, it's so easy. Mac OS 10 server versus like getting my PC to talk to anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have to
Yeah.
go through like the PC's Windows still has wizards to set things up. and
Oh,
I'm
that
just
drives
puzzled,
me nuts.
It's crazy, and it's like this interface is cool. This is a great 1993 interface. I love that you kept this. Nostalgic for
Yeah.
when I had Windows 98 as my last Windows.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like the speed comparison, and I mean, like, so I can't even really use Cinema on my Mac, my 2017 MacBook Pro, because the graphics are just not. There's something where I'll run something and I can't stop it. It won't stop the playback.
Mhm.
And
Weird.
I feel like that happened with like one of the more recent like OS updates.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's the thing that
Yeah,
I
I don't
don't
know.
like about the Switch. Again, is I've probably said this before, is the little things you lose in the ecosystem. That's why I still have my MacBook Air on my desk, because I still use it for notes, and I still, I try and use like, what's the one with the elephant, the Evernote,
Oh, right.
and all that kind of stuff. But I really like notes, except when, again, the stuff gets outdated, right? Like my Mac my MacBook Air won't run certain things if I update the OS. So I have to leave it like this, but then my iCloud doesn't work correctly anymore and destroys the notes from my phone. Like this morning, like all of my notes from for the show that I've been putting on my phone, the other one overwrote it. You know, things like that that stuff's starting to not work anymore for me because I can't
Have you had
update.
this problem with notes? About a year ago, because I have like 500 notes on my phone, it's too slow. It freezes
Weird.
as I'm typing notes. It's text. What is so
Right.
hard about text? But it became useless to
Needs
me.
Never
2
had
gigs
that
of RAM
problem.
in order
Yeah, I
to
know.
run text. You know.
Yeah. No, I don't have that issue. I have a lot of notes and I've never had that issue, but yeah, it's little things like that where it's okay, those things aside, you know, there's still so many things like texting. You know, when you're on a Mac and you've got an iPhone and you've got your messages and you can type a response back to someone on your computer without using your phone, which can be good and bad. You know, there's things like that I miss. But as far as like your apps, Cinema 4D, After Effects, what else do you use on a daily basis?
I mean, those are the big ones.
Yeah, right. I guess those two.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need anything else, right? C4D and After Effects. So,
Well, I mean, like they're just like Mocha and all the other kind of whatever
yeah.
apps.
I mean, those are all the same. Have you had any other issues besides like the obvious missing app stuff? You know, have you had any hardware issues or anything like that you miss or
No. So I know that some people don't love the Mac ecosystem because, like, if something breaks, they have to send the whole computer back or whatever. And
Yeah.
I do regret that I can't just upgrade the RAM myself anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I was always, taking apart and extending the life of my MacBooks because I could put a new SSD instead of the hard drive and update the RAM and whatever else. I miss that, but I've also had motherboards completely fry out, and I can just drive it to the Apple Store and they give me a new one.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I had an $800 motherboard fry out on me on one of my computers, and they just replaced it for me. And it was out of warranty. And they were just like, oh, no, actually, sometimes this happens. So, I mean, I've had really good experiences. I've had probably, well over a dozen Apple PCs, God, probably 20 or something like that. I've had Xserve servers, Xserve RAIDs,
Old
the
school.
service, and
Yeah.
But they were great. They worked fantastic. I never had any problems.
Yeah. Zubair's asking a question in the chat about Synergy because some people use both, like I do. And Matt, you do. You actually use Synergy to go between the two, or you did.
I
for a while.
used to. Back when I had all my computers set up, like I had 4 computers at once, and I used Synergy for everything.
Yeah.
You know, one mouse, one keyboard, being able to go between everything and all my screens and stuff. Super easy to set up too. It used to be called Synergy. It's probably still called Synergy, but the company is now called Seamless. SYMLESS.
Well,
You know,
there's
it's cool to get rid of the I's and put a Y.
missing.
Looking at you, EJ.
Yeah, missing vowels and
Right.
flick R.
Matt is spelled with a Y, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
MYTT.
It's
MYTT. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt.
Mhm. Actually, I'm just gonna replace all the letters in my name with Y.
Yeah. It's all just Y.
Yeah.
It's like your cat stepped on the keyboard.
Yeah.
That's how you spell my name.
I used to have. I don't think it was Synergy, but I had something else that would share. But I don't even bother with that stuff anymore. Honestly, I have the MacBook right here. I just move over here. I don't need to like move the mouse over to it. I'll just use my hands.
Yeah.
But I know people who have like the setups where they need like a KVM switch or they need, because they are like really using both of them. If I were actually doing anything besides notes on this, yeah, I probably would do the same.
Yeah.
But at least it works between the two platforms. That's nice, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
What about X particles? Have you been doing any X particles?
I mean, I've been trying to like learn it more. Gosh, I am so late to the X Particles game. I only got my first copy a couple years ago.
Because that would be another good one to learn. Besides, Redshift, to know X particles. That's like everybody uses X particles now, and it's just like so many people will be on Slack or somewhere and be like, hey, I need someone that knows X particles. I see that all the time.
I will say, so X Particles just had an update, you know.
Mhm.
I have a feeling you're gonna see a lot more X Particle stuff, like a lot more smoke and fire and liquids and stuff. Because for me, I always shied away from it because it's like, okay, how do I set this up again? Okay, I'm going to go into, the X Particles online documentation, watch a video about it, and then try and figure it out, blah, blah, blah. But they just introduced the new shelf, which is similar to like in Houdini, where you can just click on like a button and it automatically creates everything for you, which is so fantastic.
I'm gonna have to check that out. That sounds fun.
It's pretty cool. So it's like, okay, I just need some simple smoke. Boom, click on it. It creates a sphere. It puts everything in there, and then you're good to go. You're good to start. I need some fire. Okay, cool.
I like that.
Done. I think they have a like a campfire as well.
Every single day.
Click on that every single day. So.
I you know what? I'm gonna install that because I'd like to have that for a presentation I'm doing pretty soon. So, yeah. I'm going to install that today.
Cool. I would love that kind of thing sounds so nice. I've always tooled around and then saved things, and then I'll grab those and see what I did.
Mm-hmm.
So like my own version. But yeah, like the intimidating thing about X Particles or any kind of like systems that have so many options and so many daemons and stuff is remembering what all the features do, not knowing what they mean.
Yeah. What I like doing on that is, if I have time, is to just take a basic system and add one thing and just start moving the knobs and just see what happens. Because that's really like, I would rather do that than just sit down in front of a manual and say, here's the list of all the things and it will do this thing. I'm like, no, just let me just like play with all the knobs. It's like when you get like a keyboard, like a brand new like piano keyboard, or something.
Right,
or
you play the demo song.
You play the demo
and then
song.
you pretend like you're playing it.
Yeah, you take all the demo XP stuff and pretend you made it. Just like Chris Brown. So So
we'll get there.
We'll get there. So the thing is, I like to, if you're playing with a new keyboard, or you go to like Guitar Center and you want to play with, you're like turning all the knobs. You're like, ooh, what does this do? What does this do? Oh, it's going and it's making weird noises and stuff.
Find the cat sounds.
The cat sounds
immediately to the cat
meow,
sounds.
meow, 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 meow.
Yeah. And turn on your Instagram filter and put on your cat ears.
Right.
Yeah. Here.
No.
Oh gosh.
No.
Yeah.
I'm Instagram IRL.
Oh boy.
I won't do the
audio,
voice.
Okay, good.
I can't do it when we're live. When we're recording, you can't turn on the cat filter. Sorry. Crisis averted.
Mm-hmm.
Crisis averted. Okay, so Travis Ragsdale, who we just found out is a Dallas person.
In Dallas.
Yeah.
What's up, Travis?
We're gonna be hanging out in Dallas and Austin at the end of August and beginning of September for some meetups to be announced later. And so we would love to meet you. And he also has a question. He says, any good resources for X Particles?
The online, honestly, Insidium has some of the best online materials.
They've released some really cool stuff, like the snow stuff that I kept seeing all these examples of, and I'm like, I just need to see how this was built because I can't figure out how to build this. Like, they put that out there and everything.
Speaking of,
what?
Say X Particles and Bob shows up.
Yeah, see, that's right there. Bob is your resource. You can actually just hound him in our Slack channel all the time. Just,
best voice in the business, by the way.
He loves it. What'd you say, Benny?
Best voice in the business. I was just
yes.
I would go to sleep listening to those.
I know. When he says random. He rolls. He's just like random.
Yeah. See, Bob shows up like a genie.
Yep.
Just some gorgeous results.
Their Discord is really cool because if you're looking for how to do something, you go to their Discord and you can search for something. And because Discord isn't like Slack where the messages disappear, you can go back and find other people who were probably having a conversation about something that you were, trying to do So I'd say that's a good one. I took Tom Bosley's. There's again Tom Bosley,
Tom
Bob
Bosley.
Bob Walmsley,
Bob
Tom
Walmsley.
Bosley, Bob Tomsley, Bob Walmsby.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just making up English names.
yeah. What is the Eddie Izzard thing? The back-to-back buck six truns. No, that's
Yeah.
throwback. Anyway,
Yeah.
Tom Bosley has a great course, and I went through his course, and that was a really good start. And it works as a great library too, because even if you don't go through everything, it's that whole like mentality of knowing where to get certain things and certain tutorials if you need them. Bookmark this thing because someday you might need it. You don't have to go watch it right now, but you know that you have that as a resource later on. And so there have been times that I've needed to do this thing and I'm like, oh man, how did I know that was in the Tom Bosley thing? So I'm going to go into that library now and I'm going to go to that video and watch, and it's divided into chapters and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, honestly, their library is a great starting place. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is interesting.
Okay.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Right. Breaking news. Do. So, and I had to double check this just to make sure. EJ was texting us. So Oliver, I'm going to say this wrong, Meisberg, he was the chief product officer at Maxon, has apparently left Maxon, and he's now he's the VP for RenderMan technology over at Pixar now.
Whoa.
Yeah, right?
Wow. Is that does that mean Maxon's going to get involved in Pixar? That'd be fun.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat. I wonder what what are they going to do now?
Yeah, it's only fair.
That's fun.
It's only fair. See, Pixar.
You heard it first here, folks.
Yeah. I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to this topic because I really want to talk about this. Let's talk about stolen art
Yeah, let's
and
talk
Instagram.
about it.
So the first thing we've talked,
Don't the thing is just don't do good art because then someone will steal
someone
it.
will steal it.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah. Make sure all your art is bad.
Life hack.
No, Jan. Okay, wait. Hold on a second. I'm gonna find the Instagram account because you have. I guarantee if you're in Mograph, you've most likely seen this. It's the astronaut things, and when I say the astronaut things, you're like, wow, that could be anything, right?
Yeah. Right.
So let me find the account because you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I show this video up here. Okay, check this out. You've seen the video, the astronauts.
Right.
This might have audio. I might have to mute it. Now, thanks for not having a mute button. You've seen this before. Jan Sledeko, I believe he's going to be at SIGGRAPH. I think I asked him if he was going to be there. So he made this video. Now, look at the view count on this, though. I think this is interesting. This is 38,000 views, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
that's a good.
That's
really
good.
good.
That's really good. And the thing is that he did like a series of these, and like this one here was the first one I think with the car and the floating car and the astronaut, 28,000 views. Now, we've all seen this because we're in the industry, and I think I met him last year at SIGGRAPH. I think that's when we met, and.
It was a couple years ago at NAB.
Oh, it was NAB. Okay.
NAB.
Anyway,
because we were doing a podcast and he was on it. I was like, wait a second,
that's
you're
right.
Jan Sledeko?
That's right. Yeah.
I didn't even know who we were hanging out with.
Yeah. So it's something that everybody in our industry has seen. Not everybody, but you know what I'm saying. It was a popular one when it came out, and so it shows up on freaking Chris Brown's Instagram. And the problem is, when you see something like that as a designer, like he did, and you're the first thing is like you're really pissed because you're like, what the hell? You just stole my thing. Usually it's like an account that's not popular, but this is a famous musician, if you can call it music, and it's completely ripped off, completely stolen. The music has been changed, and there's so much time.
Wait, he even like
Yeah.
took the music?
Yeah, he changed the music. You
Can
know,
you
so
show me the
it's,
tweet?
It's not even.
Are you
Just go to his Instagram account. And you can find. It's not.
you're gonna make me go to Chris Brown's Instagram account?
Yeah.
All right.
So, like Grant says, you know, he put in so many late nights of his personal time working on those pieces, and you know, it's messed up that it gets ripped so easily. No, he didn't recreate the video. He took the original video and put new music on it. And this is like so messed up, and the comments are closed on it, so you can't comment and be like, you ripped this off or whatever, you know. No credit is given, nothing. Now it has almost 1 million views, and that's kind of the crappy part about this, right? The artist wasn't tagged. He didn't give any credit. He changed it. For one, you can't change it, you know. And so what do you do as a designer? You go to Instagram and you report it, and then I checked out this process to see what it was like, because I wanted to know, because I feel like Instagram is really big right now when it comes to 3D designers and animators and motionographers, whatever you want to call it. And it's so big that there's a lot of rampant piracy. A lot of people have been like, oh, this account's doing like Instagram dailies, but they're just stealing other people's dailies, which is not, it's not, I'm not downplaying it. That's also ripping things off, but this is on another level. This is somebody who's got a crazy following. They're verified. It's a verified person on Instagram who's doing this.
54.9 million followers.
Yes. So he puts that out there, and it gets all these comments, and everybody thinks it's so funny. Now, how many people started following because of that? How many people watched it? And he has zero credit, and nobody knows who created this. Just assumes, I guess, that Chris Brown animated. I don't know, or that he, you know, paid someone for it. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what is the point? First of all,
900,000 views.
Right. We're at almost 1 million. So to me, when you go through this process, I looked, you report this, and you can't just say, oh, this is mine, and submit it like you can on YouTube. Because even YouTube has a pretty good process now for that, because we've had a lot of stuff copied, and we have to fill out these forms and all of that stuff. And it really is a pretty simple process, though, and it does get taken down pretty quick. Now, in this case, I went to Instagram to figure out how to do this, and besides the fact that I couldn't barely even get the pages to load correctly, it is a really hard process to get this taken care of and submitted. And I'm sure that by now he has submitted a copyright claim, but the video is still up. It should be down by now. And the other thing, is there any content matching system on Instagram at this point, or anything to see what's a duplicate? So to make it easier, to me, I think that Instagram needs to be called out a little bit on this, because they're not doing the right thing. They're not doing what needs to be done, because there's musicians and artists and all sorts of people on Instagram. This isn't Facebook, where people are just posting their political opinions and stuff. This is mostly photos and videos. You know? So like this is something that seems like it would be kind of easy to contain. Travis says, I love repost accounts that don't change the post and give the artists credit. I feel that's a great way to discover new artists. Absolutely. But there's no credit given. You know, he says, but I've had people repost my stuff and throw like 5 different Instagram filters on it, add their own music and watermarks. See, that's changing it. You know, there's no like Creative Commons thing you could put in and say, you know, reuse without modification or anything like that. It's just nothing. It's just nothing. And that's what pisses me off. You know, they put the comments on hold, so you can't comment that this is stolen work. You know, you can't get the followers and the views back. That's the thing. It seems to me like if you steal someone's content, that all the comments and all the views should be automatically moved to your video. I feel like he deserves those million views.
Totally agree with you. But like, what are views gonna get you? You know, views aren't gonna get you
exposure.
Like, I mean, okay. Okay, so they say, "Oh, you're right. We're gonna move all those views," but like those views were still seen as Chris Brown's account.
No, what those views should be? They should move those views for you. to your
but it doesn't
copy
matter
of the video.
because,
It
like,
does because it
okay,
helps your
no.
numbers.
Here's what I'm saying is
your popularity.
Yeah, it may help your but like
If
those
you're an
are
account
past
with a
views.
million views on a photo or a video, that's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, that's great. That's super good and everything. But like, you have a million people who have already watched a video. Okay, you move those views over to someone else. It doesn't change the fact that they still saw it under Chris Brown's account.
That's
they didn't see it as Jan's account.
The people that liked, I don't know.
It changes the algorithm a little bit though. Like you're more likely to be seen because it'll. Like
that's what I'm
searches.
saying. That's what I'm saying because now you have this like really high count thing. You know, I feel like you deserve that as some sort of payment. You know, because what's the other option? The other option is go to court.
Yeah.
And I heard you can't take Chris Brown to court because he beats everybody.
Oh. I mean, it's pretty. This whole stealing thing is pretty rampant in our industry. Did you see the thing from Ash Thorpe the other day?
Oh yeah, I did.
So,
what's going on with that?
There's a Area 51 and flying saucers thing on Netflix.
Yes, that was in the top thing today.
At like 54 minutes, like they straight up used a shot from that it was Ash Thorpe's.
Now again, I'm going to ask the penny question: was this exactly the same shot, or was it just recreating what he created?
I think they straight up stole his material.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, sorry, my dog's barking.
But wasn't there something weird? Like the artist actually sent something to Ash and said, "You used my material," or something weird. No. I thought I saw something. Maybe I was just reading Twitter backwards. I don't know.
You were probably reading it backwards.
I don't understand kids these days and their social media.
So he said, he tweeted, he said, "Hey, Netflix and Jeremy Corbell, you have art of mine in your film that was never commissioned, paid for, signed off on. I would like it removed immediately. Here's the work that it was used at 54 and 55 minutes.
I heard that there's something about this person, like he trolls people a lot or something. I don't know what it was. It was a while back. I don't remember what it was, but I did notice that was on the top, like recommended or whatever on Netflix.
Yeah. I mean, Ash filed a copyright claims with Netflix.
Yeah.
And then he spoke with the director, and the director says he's doing everything in his power to remove his work from all the copies of the film. But I don't know how that works out with Netflix. Do you have to like resubmit a new?
Just re-upload. I mean, you've got a contract with Netflix. So you've got contacts. You've got an email address. You call. You say. I mean, it's got to come down. It's got to come down immediately. It's the immediacy of the whole thing. Somebody rips off your work on YouTube, and then you got to spend 2 years while they make a bunch of money off of it, trying to take it down, and then you don't have any money.
We, for example, like how do you get someone to I mean, there's so much material being put out.
Yeah, Travis hit it on the head because I was actually thinking this. They took the Starbucks cup out of that HBO thing. All you're doing is replacing a file on a server. I'm sorry. It doesn't take that long.
I agree with you. But like, for example, we are a news podcast, whatever you want to call it, right? And so under Creative Commons, if we're showing off something...
Not Creative Commons, but copyright law.
Whatever, copyright law. If we're showing off something, it's fair use because we're showing it off, right?
Or we're doing a technical breakdown, or we're reporting on somebody's video. Like, we won't get a takedown notice for showing 1 second of that astronaut thing.
But I'm saying if it gets to the point where someone says this is a takedown notice, and they immediately take our whole thing down, and then we've got to fight this for a while.
Right.
Yeah. It's pretty crappy. Like, you have to have someone who can go through everything. I'm just playing kind of devil's advocate here. I think Chris Brown should take down the thing because that's obviously blatant, ripping off.
Right.
But still, like, I don't know.
I'm trying to start a conversation about it, and I'm trying to get people going on it. Like, the first thing I would say is that people just need to tweet out about it. I think that's the first thing that needs to happen. If one of your friends is getting ripped off, I think the best thing to do is to tag as many people related to it as and call them out. I mean, we just even on my personal Twitter account yesterday, I wrote, I'm just going to start stealing Chris Brown's music since he thinks it's okay to steal everybody else's art. You know, kind of a smug whatever. And I was getting retweets and I was getting,
Done.
you know, all of that stuff. And I don't have a popular Twitter account, you know, so I imagine if there are people out there who start, you know, who are in the industry, who start calling it out, I think that it's going to help. And I think if somebody gets ripped off, it's our duty. If we know, like, hey, this is our friend, I know he was working on this thing for like a year or something, and it's ripped off, and you know for sure that this is a ripoff, like, you almost need to do it as your duty, because you would want those people on your side if it happened to you.
Yeah.
But,
So there's a lot of different ways that people are getting ripped off too. It's like not just one, like, copying the work. But there's an illustrator I follow on Instagram who some artist in another country, somewhere in Europe, was taking her illustrations, like recoloring them and selling them as his own work. And he was doing it with a whole bunch of stuff, like motion work, 3D models, illustrations, and the community that follows her like jumped on him. And I also took part in that.
Right.
And we got his account taken down, and I think he felt so attacked he took his website down.
Wow.
Probably restarted somewhere else, a different site or something. But
well, the
I mean,
one,
like, you also.
no, go ahead. Sorry. You also,
Well, I mean, like, and then there's a difference between like Chris Brown stealing it and another artist stealing it and passing it off as their own work, right? Like, those are different types of stealing. And I mean, you can kind of bet that at some point this like artist who stole this woman's illustrations is going to get asked to do something from scratch and isn't going to be able to.
right.
Right.
Like that
They're
dude we
not
were
skilled.
talking about. Remember a while back, he had his entire site was all just complete rips of
Yes.
other things, and we're like, what happens when that person has to do some work? You know, or that listener we were talking about where someone came in for an interview and it was like all ripped off work. What happens when they have to sit down and actually do the work?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know that artist on Instagram, Esteban? Oh no, I can't remember it off the top of my head. It's Esteban Diacono. He does like Houdini, like inflated people and like really crazy weird little people sims.
That sounds familiar.
He did a post. I mean, some of his stuff, I don't know a better way to do this, but like super
Yeah.
creepy, you know, whatever.
Instant follow right there.
Yeah. No, amazing. And he did a post where he's like, so I happened to see a fashion shoot, a fashion show thing where this student did a whole lineup of like models that were wearing big inflated red circles. And like, it was a whole bunch of things that looked exactly like all of his stuff. And he's like, I'm not calling it out, but it's a little bit of a coincidence that like 10 of these things look like these Houdini people sims that I've done.
But does that not fall into inspiration category, or?
But does it? I mean,
It's
it's like
tough.
he didn't. Here's the thing: that artist, people were like saying like, no, it's just a coincidence, and like he's like, no, that artist follows me on Instagram.
Oh yeah, well there you go.
And yeah, and it was like, I mean, just credit. Like, I mean, it's a different field. He's not trying to do fashion design, but at least throw a credit.
Yeah, see, I feel bad even showing work that I didn't 100% do myself. You know?
Yeah.
Because of credit reasons. You know, they're like the stuff that we worked on with David Ariev. I worked on this little piece of it. Like, I feel bad even showing like the full scene because I only did this little piece, you know, and I don't understand how people could just blatantly like throw that stuff out there and not think they're going to get called out on it, because that's the other thing. Like, really, Chris Brown, you have 54 million followers. You don't think anyone's going to call you out for stealing things? Like,
I mean,
it's
the
gonna
question
get figured out.
is he also running his own Instagram
Well, that's
account?
another question too. But then that comes up
You
to
know,
a whole
you
other
get-
thing,
you get-
because it's liability. He's going to get sued because of that person who's managing the account. Maybe Kevin has some insight on this. Kevin, what happens if you're posting social and you steal something and say that it belonged to the company you're working for? I mean, seriously, like if there is a social media company or manager for Chris Brown, he needs to be fired. Like right now. Like, it has to happen right away. And will that happen?
No.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's just a whoopsie.
Yeah. Oh,
You know.
and there's the repost. Was it Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan reposted a Beeple thing.
Yeah, he reposted the Beeple animation of Hillary Clinton Krang inside of the Trump baby legs animation. It looks just
I'm
like
coming,
Trump baby legs.
I'm regular legs.
Woo! That's what I sound like when I run. I'm baby legs.
But okay, so I'll just bring up the thing so we can see. This was Joe
But
Rogan, right?
This is a good way of doing it. Yeah.
This is an
It was
example
Joe
of how you
Rogan,
do it. How do you spell his last? Okay, I got it. All right.
Rogan.
Was it? It must have been recently because he just posted that the other day, right? Okay, here it is. Oh, and he reposted the link to Instagram, so it doesn't even show up. Okay, so this tweet here, what a fun time to be alive. Hashtag repost at Beeple, although, yeah, oh, that's right, at Beeple. You know, so he's literally saying, this is a repost, this is Beeple who made this, and this is cool, and I like it, and he's linking to it where he did it, like, on his Instagram, but again, repost at Beeple crap on Instagram, you know, with this repost app, whatever it is. Literally saying, like, if you like this and you like this art, you should follow this Beeple guy. You know, you may have heard of him. But
I do think it's interesting that he posted it as his own account and not like a story or something. It is cool that he tagged Beeple, and I'm sure Beeple wouldn't care.
I'd be interested to know how he feels about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be ecstatic if somebody did that and said, look at what Dave did.
Yeah.
Look at what Dave did here. Dave did this thing, and here's this thing, and I'm reposting it. You know, and here's his thing if you want to follow him for more of this crazy artwork. To me, that feels like it was done correctly.
Yeah.
You know.
You gonna play the animation?
No, well, it's gonna be in Beeple's People today anyway, so we'll come back to it. But 2.4 million views on that.
Yeah.
You know, and how many did Beeple get? Beeple gets a lot of views, but, you know, I'd be interested to see how many he got. I mean, that's great. That's a great example of, like, actual exposure. See, he had 277,000 views on the original video, and on the picture, he had, well, it doesn't say. But, I mean, he's
got 300,000 on the animation on Instagram.
Yeah, see.
You know, but like 2.4 million versus 300,000. Like you were talking about the
exposure dollars.
or the algorithm or whatever.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Those numbers should go.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Kevin says, much like you said, Dave, stolen content needs to be reported to even be reviewed for potential removal. Bottom line, there can be very little accountability with hijacked content on Instagram. I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. Go ahead, caller.
Can I?
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Long time listener, first time caller. This is my favorite thing that just happened to me though. Is so here is my Instagram account.
All right.
And here is one I happened to find.
What?
That is,
what?
It's literally pictures of you?
That's you.
It's my description even.
See, now that's a bot.
And my Facebook thing. But here's the thing. They tagged me. What?
Oh, that's hilarious.
They tagged me in one of the reposts.
That's
weird. Really weird. That's got to be bot stuff, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if Instagram can't even handle like an obvious copy, like the thing is like Instagram, Google, Facebook, all that stuff is, it's all automated. Like they don't have, like if you try to do anything with YouTube, you can't get anything changed on YouTube because their entire system is automated.
Yeah, you have to get like to the second or third level of copyright such and such to get there.
That's what I was saying. There's just so much content being put out there. You would need like an entire country worth of
AI.
people. Yeah.
You know.
I don't know.
It's the buzzword.
That's the next Beeple. We'll see Beeple's next week one will be some Facebook, Instagram monster censoring
with Chris
based
Brown's
on
head.
copyright.
Good.
And it'll just be a
anyway,
the Penelope fan page. I like it. That's funny.
There's just one more thing I wanted to bring out, just because it's annoying, is plugins that require node locking and like manual activation to the extreme.
Uh-oh. Penny's triggered.
Okay. Tell us.
I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
Dumb.
And I was thinking about this when you were talking about synergy and using different computers.
Uh-huh.
I don't feel I can even use different computers anymore because
Mm-hmm.
there's so much software. It's just a pain in the ass to like I love that, like with, Adobe, whatever. I can have 2 licenses and I can go onto a new machine. I don't have to log off of the other machine.
Yep.
That's great. Cinema, smart enough to know it's open somewhere else. Like,
Yeah.
do you want to, whatever. Great. But then like, okay, so if I want to use Cinema on this machine and use Redshift, I have to unlog on whatever here. And,
And what about
like,
X particles and
RealFlow wants me to pay to switch my license. Like, what if my computer
Yeah.
died? I have to pay them $75?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
See,
know, like
what, like
Yeah.
the XP stuff, they at least do it smart. XP and Octane, I think, do it smart, where it's like, okay, you can't use this here because it's already open somewhere else. Okay, well, that's cool. I'll go close that down,
Mhm.
or release my license, so that I can use it on another computer,
the flip side annoying part about the of that method is there's stuff I can't use when I don't have an internet connection.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Then you gotta buy a
I'm used to
$50
working on a
dongle.
plane. Yeah. Wait, a what? Oh,
A don-
is
well,
that an option with a lot of
Yeah.
Octane as a dongle, I know that. I don't know
Yeah.
about some of the other ones, but
I'm just so irritated with it. Did y'all ever have any problems with like Sapphire back in the day where it would like it was so aggressive that it would just say like, "Oh, this is stolen" or whatever, or "This you don't have a license." And I'm like, "It's installed. Come on, man."
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
Superla TV says Dem Earth. Yes. Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
like the worst. I had a problem with licensing with Dem Earth, and and there was a language barrier. I talked about this like years ago on the show. There's a language barrier. First of all, it had to do with like support or something. The word
Yeah.
support and what support meant. But
Yeah.
man, he was such a jerk to me about it. And then I realized that you got to pay $300. You can still have the plugin, but you're not able to use the maps after a year. I'm like, I guess I didn't realize that. But when they node lock this stuff, it's so hard to, like you said, move across, but to change computers. Or what I like about Cinema 4D now is that you can choose your plugins folder. So I put my plugins folder on Dropbox, so that the next time I have to reinstall Cinema 4D, I point it back to that Dropbox folder, and there it is.
So smart.
And it doesn't matter what computer I'm on. But then what happens? Forrester is like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And then you have to email them and reset it, and then send them a combination of your Cinema 4D serial, which I think is a little weird, sending people your serial number.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's the last 11 of your
Oh, it is.
serial
That's
or
true.
something. I
That's
hate
true.
that.
The-
I hate that.
they
Like, I
combine
hate
it with
ones
your
that
MAC
are
address?
locked to that.
your
Yes.
host ID.
Yes.
Yeah.
Arnold does that. I hate
Yeah.
it.
Or
Yeah.
or all the video copilot stuff. What is it? Optical
Yeah.
flares. You have to type
Yeah.
that in. I mean, at least that one, like, you get a new computer, you just license it and it works fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like when you have, I mean, how many plugins do you have?
Oh,
How long does it
geez.
already take
Lots.
to install?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember Real Smart and Twixter? You had back in the day, you had to type in every serial if you upgraded.
Right, because you couldn't copy and paste.
Yes.
You couldn't copy and paste, but you also had to like, oh, I'm installing 6, so I have to install 2, the full version. The upgrade, put in the thing for 3, put in the thing to 4, put in the thing to 5,
Yes.
put in the thing to 6.
Mm-hmm. And then you have to
Oh my
find them.
God.
So you're going back through your email and trying to search for all of those serial numbers, and
Which are mixed case, mixed numeric.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing about like some of them is that they're manually done by whoever creates the plugin.
Mm-hmm.
And so it'll be like a Saturday afternoon and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I got to finish this thing," and something's not working and you got to reinstall your plugin, and it's like, "Oh, you need to send this stuff to us." And then you just email it because somebody
We'll
has
get
to
it back to you in 1 business day.
Right,
Or
which
2 business
days, and then you get on like somebody is literally on their email somewhere doing the combined thing and then re-emailing it to you manually. There's no automation. I think it's just a little bit too much. I think the node it just, there needs to be an easier way. Like, at what point are you overdoing it with the security?
Yeah.
Well, so I really like that some companies are doing like one installer for all their stuff, or like,
Yeah.
who is Red Giant starting to do that maybe? Or
I think a lot of their stuff does
Red
that.
Giant does
Yeah.
that. Adobe does that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's really nice.
Because whenever I have to renew my VHS filter every year, I go renew the whole package. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this far back, but Premiere didn't used to have deck interface to like digitize.
Oh, yeah.
And you had to buy a plugin from this company that was like two guys in Hawaii, and they were open. They were open like 2 hours a day, 3 days a week.
That's
And
fun.
in order to get the license, you had to do it manually through them.
I
They
think
were always
gosh.
surfing.
the problem is in our industry, when you got to do something, you have to do it right now. You know,
Yeah.
you're busy,
Yeah.
you sit down, okay, I got to get this done. Okay, I got to wait 24 hours now. And you're just stuck.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not conducive to a fast-paced environment.
And that's why,
And some people aren't professional.
well, that too.
Maybe
Yeah, case in
Mhm.
point, the Dem Earth dude, such a jerk to me.
Automatic Duck,
Automatic
that
Duck?
guy.
Yeah?
Do you remember Automatic Duck?
Oh, yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I like one time needed an update, and I wrote him, and I'm like, because that was the only way you had to do it, is to get the update is to write.
Yeah.
And like, hey, I'm trying to, I own, I think I just typed offhand like, oh, I own your plugin, Automatic Duck, for this to this.
Mm-hmm.
And he writes back with my email in like bullet points in between my sentences. His first response was, you don't own it, I own it, you license it, smiley face. And it was just like, and then like the next thing, and just like kept responding snarkily. And I was like, okay, bro, that's not cool. And he's like, I put a smiley face so you knew that I was joking. I'm like, I'm trying to get a project done.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you money for your software, and you're gonna semantics at me? Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah. See, we don't have an
Sure.
automatic system. And that, you know, we can't respond. I mean, we can't respond to our plugin, you know, automatically. So I just try and answer the emails the best I can, you know, but I try and do it in a timely manner if I can, because
Yeah.
it's,
I've always got my email up. So,
yeah,
You know,
Yeah, you get dinged for it right away.
I get
right?
dinged for it immediately.
You know,
yeah.
but
I
I
know,
guess
I know when it comes in.
that's
I know
good
when
for
I can
some,
ignore it.
some
or not.
companies are good at that. I mean, there are a lot of companies that I have sent something to on a weekend or whatever, and they send something right back, you know? So
Yeah.
it just, it's hit or miss, but yeah.
Yeah, stop. If you're making software, stop doing the serial number thing. It's so dumb.
Is there a good reason?
know?
Like, maybe if somebody comes back and gives us a good reason why they're doing it that way, as opposed to, like, you know, how Otoy is doing it, which is a lot easier. Oh,
Yeah.
you want to do this? Deactivate it here. Oh, you don't have that
Yeah.
computer? Go online and deactivate it on the
Yep.
website. Done.
Yep.
Done. I think
It's kind of where I'm super not into like stealing software because it makes it difficult for everyone else.
Right. Right.
I think honestly, I feel like a lot of people do pirate for that reason, and that reason alone.
Yeah.
It'd be easier for them to
It's
pirate
like-
it than to go through the process.
Right. I've already paid for this. You know?
Right.
So what I did with all my streaming movies and stuff. Then when I was setting up my Plex server, you know, like I didn't want to just I had DVDs. I just didn't want to take the time to, you know, copy them over. So
Your digital
Yeah.
copy. Your,
my digital
your,
copy.
your own private Disney vault.
Yeah. So I still have all the DVDs. I'm
Yeah.
allowed to convert them.
True. True.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to some links. Number one, I wanted to talk about RTX Super.
Yeah. These
Yeah.
are the new cards, right?
What do you think?
I'm excited about it. I think it's cool.
Are
you
they?
know?
I mean, okay, so are they really that much
I
faster
think-
though? That's my question.
I don't know. Let me see. I saw the specs the other day, and of course you're getting more VRAM, which is awesome. So like you get a 2060 Super, and they're gonna stop making the 2060s and the 2070s and stuff. It's just gonna be the Super stuff. So you're basically paying the same price for more CUDA cores and more VRAM. It's a win-win in my book.
That's
you know?
cool, but the naming system is so
Oh
confusing.
yeah, so dumb.
You-
It's so dumb.
You think it's going to
Yeah.
change? Like, okay, so they went from the 900 series to 20 series, or what's the next one going to
1000
be?
series.
Wait, didn't they
Was
go
there
like it was
1,000?
this? It was the 700 to the
And the
900
the
to
10.
to
Sorry,
the
yeah,
1000 to the
1080.
2000.
Yeah.
And then they went back and did like the 1650 or something.
Yeah, that was dumb. That was super dumb.
I don't
Because
get
that stuff
it.
was an RTX.
Super
that
dumb.
was jeez.
Huh.
I'm
Not
holding
just
out
regular
for the
dumb.
1650
It's super dumb.
Super dumb. And RTX Super.
The RTX super dumb.
I
don't
you
know.
know, I mean, I love their products, but it's getting confusing to me. Like, I'm not
It is.
understanding some of this, the reasoning behind some of this sometime. Like, okay, here's an example. Okay, let's say it's a 1070 and it's like a 1070 Super. Why wouldn't you just call it like the 1071 or something? Why do you have to put the Super on it?
I don't know.
Thanks for
Why don't
asking.
why don't they just get rid of the super and just upgrade the cards?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
I
Like,
think
just-
you need some name, but call it a Mark II or something.
Yeah.
that's a good possibility. And why are these really finite upgrades even necessary? I guess it's kind of
Yeah.
weird. Like, is there really that much of a demand that they need to make all of these like SKUs for the 1070? You really need that many 1070s? I guess I just don't understand the business model. You know, and I'm trying to figure out why. Why is that business model a thing to have like all these little niche cards? Doesn't that make manufacturing just a nightmare?
I would think so. Yeah.
And isn't it also like, all right, so this is just like, we're talking about the names of the cards from NVIDIA.
Right.
Like, then they're getting
Oh.
multiplied by the brands who put
Oh,
out the
yeah.
Mountain Founders editions and the
Mhm.
different
Mhm.
types. I mean, like,
EVGA
that is
or-
another reason
Super clocked.
Yeah.
I stay
Yeah.
away from PCs for so long because, Jesus, how many versions of the RTX 2 series are there?
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
40 cards you can choose from, 50.
Yeah.
Well, that's why my dumbass
so-
bought the wrong 1060 card, because I was like,
Yeah,
it's a
right?
1060. I didn't realize there was a 3 gig and a 6 gig, and I'm out of memory, and I'm like, I wasn't out of memory on my other card. Oh, man, I bought the wrong card.
So the 2060 has 1920 CUDA cores, and the 2060 Super has 2176 CUDA cores. So you get an extra 200 CUDA cores.
That's
you know,
not
and
a
like
lot.
2
That's what
extra
I'm
gigs of VRAM.
Okay, the
You know,
VRAM
but
is good.
the VRAM is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, that's more than my 980 Ti's have. You know, so that's good. I mean, maybe just throw a couple of 2060s in there.
Bob
you know,
Walmsley's
versus-
leaving. Bob, are you going to be at SIGGRAPH? We want to know.
I hope
We
so.
want to come talk. Okay. The other thing. Oh, y'all are going to love this. Y'all are going to love this. Okay.
We're gonna love it.
I
believe-
already love
You're
it.
going
You
to
told
love
us.
this, and I'm sorry.
So therefore-
I'm sorry. I cannot give credit for who posted this. I want to say Casey posted this, but I really don't remember. This is userinterface.com, but like we were talking about earlier, you change everything to a Y.
So
User
good.
instead of a T in interface, use a Y. Userinyourface.com, and it is the most annoying thing you've ever seen, and it's so funny to try and get this to work. I got to remember how to type here. Inyourface.com. Did I get it
Wait,
right?
how do you spell that?
Ugh.
Okay.
All right, I already hate it.
Yeah,
This
I got
last
it.
thing is so irritating already.
All right. INYER.
Your face. Your.
In your face. Change the T to
Yeah,
the Y.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I did this. Okay, so I did this on my cell phone, right?
Yeah,
when
so did
saw
I.
it.
It's awful.
Yeah, it took me 6 minutes.
Yeah.
6 minutes. Yeah.
So like, what am I supposed to click here? I don't even
Yeah.
like
It
here.
it is an excellent website in the pure fact that it shows you how to not create an interface.
Yeah, oh.
What to do.
Not really.
Like,
oh,
and I love the
I do-
how can we help thing down in the corner.
Yeah.
When you're doing it on mobile, that thing is constantly in your face.
oh yeah, it's on top of everything the whole time.
Yeah.
And then the checkbox says, "I do not accept the terms and conditions."
Right.
But wait, it's wait.
I mean, it shows a lot of
uncheck it.
things that we take for granted every day in good design. You know.
Oh, this is the
I
worst.
just saw
I
that
hate
when you
it.
type in
Instead
the
of next.
password, it doesn't get
What?
rid of the choose password.
Right.
Oh
Right,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All the fields stay in there. You got to delete them manually. Oh
Hurry
man,
up, time is ticking.
it's
And
the
do you
worst.
see .com is all the way at the bottom?
Oh, of course it is.
It's
my
not.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, .jpeg. That's good. Oh, it's the worst. If you want to be like super annoyed, that's where you go. Oh my gosh.
Like I think everyone who has done like design needs to check it out specifically because like I'm telling you, like there's so many things where I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize that was like a thing. Like I realize now how inconvenient bad design is because of how poorly this is designed. You know?
Yeah, pretty cool.
It's good. Go check it out.
All right.
I'm crying.
User in
bad.
your YER face.com.
Change the T to a Y. There you go.
Sending to my web dev buddies right now. That's funny.
All right, I'm going to switch this up. We're going to do email before Beeple's People. Because we have been getting some emails, besides a bunch of people spamming us with, I've been following your posts, and you should totally do a write-up on this. You know, your posts are always so good. I'm like, you mean the show?
Thanks.
You mean the show? Here's a podcast.
Since you're not going to let me go to the bathroom
for your
during
podcast.
People's People, can I go to the bathroom
Yeah,
now?
go ahead.
All right.
I also
do
got
this.
some rotoscoping services, in case we need rotoscoping for the podcast. That's always good. And like, I don't know. We've had this sudden influx of people sending us stuff thinking that we are something we're not. But there are some actual good emails out there that we've been getting, like Oliver King, who sent this a while back on June 24th, who says this is from SIGGRAPH 2018. You've probably already seen it, but there's a guy named, I'm going to mispronounce this, Eskil Stenberg, who made a great UV unwrapper. Said, honestly, it fails more than it succeeds, but there's a huge amount of potential here. So I'll post a link to that in the show notes. It's kind of a long URL, but it's Ministry of Flat. I imagine some people have heard of that already, but we have another one from Cody, who says it would be super awesome if you guys could get your podcast on Spotify. And I talked to him a little bit. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time getting us on Spotify, but I tried to do it way back in the beta days, and like they never did it. And now all these people are on there, so I went back through the process, and I go through all the steps, and at the end it errors out. So I don't know. So it's on my list of things. I know a couple other people have asked about it, and so I will try and get us on Spotify pretty soon. Also, I am going to terribly just murder the pronunciation of this name, and I'm going to apologize up front. Vijes Rehan, and I have sincerely apologize. I have no idea how to pronounce your name. I just thought this was interesting because I actually had this link in the show notes, or not in the notes, but in my bookmarks, and I forgot to put it in the show notes a couple weeks ago. And it was a video that was posted in the Octane Facebook group, and I thought it was really cool, but he actually ended up sending us an email about this and was wondering if we wanted to do like a breakdown behind the scenes thing. And I haven't written back yet. I need to send something back, but it's a really cool video. I'm going to post it in the show notes. And I think it's funny because they are two guys running a place called Plexus Motion, and Matt and I run Nexus Motion. And it's a I don't know how to describe the video.
Not to be confused with Nexus Motion, the mobility company who helps with movement and stuff.
Right. No, you'll probably recognize. I'll try and bring it up here. You can see this this video on YouTube here. Hopefully it's muted. Do I have to watch an ad for Monday.com? Of course I do.
You have to watch 2 ads now.
Depending.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll recognize this when I bring it up, but I am going to try and contact them, see if we can do like a breakdown thing on this. This looked like it was really fun. It has kind of a Lego movie feel to the characters, I would say, for some reason. I think there's certain movements and motions that they do that have that feel. I like what they did with the characters because you can see a lot of the texture on them, and I like that.
Yeah.
But this is just like such a random video, and when I saw it, I actually did bookmark it. It's a lot of work, So I'm really curious, and I like what they did.
Oh yeah, no, Penny, I wanted to show this one to you because it's got the anime explosions and stuff.
Yes,
like the ones you did.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, does it have some of those?
Yeah, there's a bunch of anime explosions in here.
I think I recognize the pack that they used for the 2D anime effects,
Oh, really?
like
Oh,
the
yeah?
electricity and stuff. I think we used that too.
It's there's a like compositing mix in here and stuff too. But I just thought I thought it was a coincidence that this person happened to email us because I was just watching that video. So I'll put that in the show notes. You can check it out. It's really random and cool. So it would be kind of fun if we could do maybe like an article breakdown, or even if we can do one of our new breakdown videos later this year that we're going to do with them. Because I'm planning on doing more Mograph
Don't do it.
Mograph breakdowns, and some more live stuff and stuff like that. It's just we got to get Seagraph and Camp Mograph out of the way.
Yep.
Oh man.
I'm gonna sleep well after Camp Mograph's over.
Oh. All right. So let's move on to Beeple's People.
It's for you, Mike. It's all for you.
Yo, weird. All right.
Add that one to the,
Yep.
the takeout.
Yo,
or whatever.
weird. All right. Go to your Beeple viewer of choice and go to July 5th, Year of our Lord 2019. July. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We're going backwards. No, not that one yet. That's going to be the cool last one. We're going to go to June 29th, Year of our Lord 2019. This one is called Silver Shroom. And I know we had talked about shrooms a while back, and I don't remember who it was. It might have been David Brodeur who came up with like a very interesting use for all the giant mushrooms that are in the Beepleverse. And I don't remember. It was like they were power cells or something. You remember that? I don't remember.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to go back
slightly.
and look and see. But this one here is, again, this is Silver Shroom because it's silver, obviously. And
Right.
I was hoping we could tie in like the reason for the shrooms into this, but I don't remember what it is. So we'll say that they're power cells for now.
Sure.
And I'm interested to know who this is. He looks like a Marvel character, kind of, or something.
Like Magneto.
Or it's
or something.
yeah, Magneto. Maybe it is
Yeah.
Magneto.
Yeah.
Just turned
Oh,
around.
there you go. Yeah, maybe it's Magneto, and then those are, that's his planet.
So is the
that he goes off
Beepleverse and the
to.
Marvel universe starting to mix?
Ooh, it's probably the case.
Shh, you want to get
More
sued?
than likely. No, he doesn't want to infringe on that copyright. So that's not Magneto. That's Magcheeto.
Magcheeto.
Mushroomo.
Mushroomo.
Mushroom.
Yeah, Magnet Man.
Mushroom. Badger. Remember that? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I like the canvas texture down here. This is really cool. He's been doing a lot of that painting look, and I don't know. I'm really digging the canvas texture. And I don't know. I just like it. So
I don't know. Like the silver, it doesn't really do it for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's
I mean, I get
it's
it.
not
It's
silver.
silver.
It's more of a Wizard of Oz Tin Man's face painted silver.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, yeah.
You know?
Which, by the way, the Wizard of Oz still holds up to this day. It has some great
You know,
makeup.
here's the problem. Somebody's going to attempt a remake on that.
They already have, haven't they?
Not really.
Like they just do prequels or sequels or
Yeah, I mean, you've got the play, and you've got the weird. What was the
Return to Oz.
Turn to Oz?
And then The Wiz.
The Wiz.
You got The Wiz.
Michael
Wicked.
Jackson.
Wicked, right?
Yeah,
You got that one with the dude,
the dude
from no, what's his name? The guy from the Room remake. What's his name?
Oh yeah.
Like it was nothing. It was dumb. It was called like Oz. It was just called Oz, wasn't it?
I don't.
Yeah, I think you're right.
remember.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if somebody, okay, you can never replace the classic Wizard of Oz.
Right.
Okay, I'll just say that
Franco.
outright.
Yeah, James Franco.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
You can never replace it, but I think that if somebody is going to do a remake, that it could be done well. It's never going to replace the original, but just imagine what you could do with special effects on that now. I mean, it would be killer.
Like
you could do
I
some
think
really
the
cool.
reason the reason it was so good
I get
was
that.
because it was done practically.
I get that.
You know?
I get that. But man, you could make some trippies.
As long as or Burton, whatever his name is, doesn't do it.
Man,
Oh, Tim Burton. No.
Tim Burton.
No,
I
he's
used
gonna
to
make it
love
look like
Tim
the new
Burton.
Willy Wonka.
And then, have y'all seen Dumbo yet?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all seen Aladdin yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what'd you
Good
think?
movie. I really liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I actually
See
really enjoyed it.
The preview for Mulan.
No.
Okay, so I saw the preview without like any audio or whatever. I was just like watching it without audio, and like it looks pretty badass. You know, just from what I saw, like I didn't see a story or anything. I mean, I know Mulan, you know, but like it looks like a really good, you know, movie.
I really actually enjoyed Aladdin. I really
Yeah.
did. Yeah, I would recommend it. I at first you're like, but then you're like, you know, the meme.
And then you go,
the meme.
like,
At first I was like, but then I was like, yeah.
All right.
I would recommend it. Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the only thing
All right.
about a Wizard of Oz remake is it would need to sync up to Pink Floyd, like another.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Well, I don't know if you. Well, you could. I guess you could still sync it to the same thing.
Yeah.
They'd sync it to something more modern.
Maybe.
It'd be like to
Radiohead.
an Imagine Dragons.
Yeah,
DVD
right.
or
Imagine
something.
Dragons,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
That's funny.
The
If anyone would like to see the Fantasia synced up to what was it? Smashing Pumpkin Siamese Dream, send me an email. I'll send you a copy.
Yeah, you made
It's
one.
amazing.
Private copy.
Have you watched it yet?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
All right.
I don't have time.
Get nice.
I need a vacation, Matt. Ugh. All right. Oh no, Travis says that, the CGI on the scene where Genie does the musical number. Yes, that was really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin says sync it to Chris Brown.
He doesn't need to sync it to Chris Brown because Chris Brown will just take it and sync it to something himself.
True. Yeah.
Anything sings to Nickelback if you're terrible enough.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh,
Oh man.
yeah. Yeah. All right, let's continue with the Beeple's People and go to
Okay.
July 4th.
4th of July.
And the name of it is July 4th, 2032.
Yep.
I don't think we need to really comment too much on what this is. I think
Yep.
everybody is going to take a look at it and, yeah. So, okay, so let's...
He's still the president in 2032.
Oh my...
Like,
no.
just like...
You mean dictator?
Just,
He will be
Well,
if he's still
the
there, he'll be
president, there
dictator.
won't be a 2032.
Well, that
Right.
too. That too. But I just think it was funny commentary on the tanks because the tanks was the big thing. You know, the tanks in the
Yeah.
parade, so he put the tanks in there. I think that's hilarious. And
Also, didn't he say that like we're gonna have the newest like Abram or like whatever it was like a tank that they haven't made in 50 years.
I have
oh
no
gosh.
idea.
I
Yeah.
forgot what they were called back in World War II. But
I read a really good breakdown. So, you know, he like messed up a whole bunch in his talk and talked about how
The airports we
you
took
know,
over during the Revolutionary
yeah, all
War.
the airports
Yeah.
and stuff. I read a really good breakdown on Reddit from it was a teacher who helps people who don't know how to read really well, you know? And like she was saying that a lot of the same things that he does are very similar to people who just don't know how to read very well.
Oh my gosh.
You know? And it's been pointed out, like, because, you know, he doesn't like to read all the stuff that people give him. He wants more charts and stuff like that.
Mm.
So it's pretty obvious that he just doesn't know how to read very well. You know?
you heard what they called that address, right? They call it the Gettysburg Address.
Oh man, that's good.
I mean, like, read or not, though, like, I mean, you have to be aware of certain things.
Right.
I mean, you pick up things. There's plenty of stuff that I haven't read.
I mean,
that
you
Right.
gotta know that
Got
there
through
weren't,
social context.
there
Right.
weren't airports back. Like, really? One if
Yeah,
by
but, like,
land, two if by
he-
sea, three if by air.
She breaks it down. She breaks it down and talks about why he said airports or something. Like he's getting the word airports and ramparts confused but like he only knows certain words. Like it's something that he's not paying attention to what he's saying,
Oh yeah.
like the context of it, because he's focusing so hard on actually saying the words that are written down.
Damon Mills said,
You know?
the Derek Zoolander Center for Children Who Can't Read Good and want to learn to do other stuff good too.
I didn't see what you were saying. That I didn't realize that there was a Rampart connection.
Yeah, because he talked about
I
the
see.
Rampart ramping or something like that. Like his whole section was all messed up. It was a really good read. I mean, but it still does point out the fact that our president doesn't know how to read.
Well, he did say
Well,
he wants
he's
to
not
serve
gonna
more
read
than
that
2
article.
terms, so
He won't. Well, maybe these Beeple things he'll look at because he does like pictures.
I mean, I think he would like
Show
this
me
picture.
the pretty pictures.
He would like this picture.
Oh,
Yeah.
he'd love it.
Yeah,
He said Tim Apple.
he's got.
Did he
giant,
call Tim?
Oh yeah, because he called him Tim Apple, not Tim Cook.
Okay. Well, enough of the politics. Let's.
Dude, and I thought like Bush said some really funny things, you know, but I have a
Yeah.
feeling Trump's gonna get quoted
You're
so much
working
more.
hard to put food on your family.
Food on your family, or I believe human beings and fish can coexist.
Yeah, peacefully. Yeah.
Oh man.
All right.
Here's
so,
baby legs.
Yeah, not to get all political, but now the next one is political
Right.
too, because July 5th, the title is just 3 American flag emoji things.
Right.
And it's
The title is just emojis.
it's
Funny.
Krang basically, but it's Trump with Hillary's head in the stomach. Now the
Right.
other one
and
was
how much do you think that would piss him off? Like making like him being like, oh, Hillary's not controlling me.
well, here's the
Like,
problem:
I
is he
love
doesn't
that,
know what the
you
Ninja
know?
Turtles are. First of all,
That's true.
he would not know what
true.
Krang is.
No,
so
you know what? I feel like he would know what the Ninja Turtles are. He seems, but
he
like,
might know
yeah.
the name. I doubt he knows what Krang is or who Krang was and why he. Anyway, the other one was a political statement. This is good, and there's a video version of this, of course, which is great. And of
Yeah.
course, this freaking
No
sound
more
is just
skits
gonna.
about Krang. No one knows who knows
Yeah,
who Krang
what is that from?
Stop mentioning Krang.
it 30
it's from
Rock?
30 Rock.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is pretty good.
I mean, look at his little baby legs and his tiny hands.
Hey,
Tiny hands and
baby
tiny
legs,
feet.
I'm regular legs.
I'm coming, regular legs.
Anyway,
Oh man,
those
so
are
good.
great. God, he's been on such a tear. Like, it is so hard to even pick what to show in those 3 every week now. I mean, between, KFC, Keanu Reeves, and
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg, and gosh, all the things. Kim Jong-un, and man, so
Yep.
good, Mike. You're
I
the
like
man.
this series. Yeah.
I hope we see Beeple in California. That would be fun. All right. Yeah,
He needs to do another-
I'm
he
gonna
needs to
buy
do another
you a
party.
drink just for the Trump thing. I think I'm gonna buy you a
Yeah.
drink for that. Yeah. Sorry, I don't want to
Even
get
though
too political.
Dave doesn't like to get Coronas.
Oh, yeah. I'll get you a Corona. Don't worry, Mike. I think that's it. We already did our emails and stuff, and we did Mograph recommends with Penny last time. So,
Yep.
anything else you want to talk about before we skedaddle?
Nah.
I'm guessing that's enough.
I can't think of anything. Yeah, no.
Cool.
No, we covered everything.
I'm okay. I was stressed out about the whole life hack thing. Because last time I didn't know
You've been
that was
stressed out since the last time we had you on the show.
Yeah.
We did it. Yeah, we did it last time, right?
Mhm.
We did do that.
Yeah,
right?
but you didn't tell me that was a thing y'all did last time. So I was
Oh.
like,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So do you
no.
have a new?
Yeah.
Do you have
I didn't
a new
get the
life
one
hack?
sheet.
Yeah, did you
You have a
figure
new
out a
life
life
hack?
hack?
Now we're calling you out on it.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I did skip it last time. Well, all right. Bring your own containers to restaurants and keep them in
Yeah.
your car so that you never have to take styrofoam home.
I think that's a really good
Nice.
idea. Yeah.
Straight to
That's
the
right. We go
Tupperware.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Straight to
You're
the
really big
Tupperware.
into the reducing waste stuff. I see those posts a lot, right?
Yeah, I am extremely eco-anxious.
Yeah.
The
I'm-
world is terrifying to me. in
Yes.
Does
I'm
anybody
right
have
there with you
questions
with the
for
world
Penny?
is
Put 'em in the
terrifying.
chat.
but I am more of the, like, I get freaked out where it's like, okay, at what point is everyone else going to care? And like,
When
I
it's
don't know.
too
It's
late.
like it's. I
I
don't know.
mean, Starbucks
Like
is getting rid of straws.
sometimes I feel like it's just the problem is so overwhelming that I don't think I can try. You know what I'm saying?
I think that there
It's a
are
terrible way of thinking.
okay, so yeah. I think that there's a big backlash against people doing small things right now. I keep seeing where like for a while it was like, hey, reduce, waste, try to do little things, go vegan because or or try to eat less meat. Just eating less meat, like one day less is helpful. And then there was this, thing that I'm seeing lately where people are like, actually, it's like these 50 companies that are doing worse than any amount that any person can do.
Yeah.
But my feeling
Right.
is like if 20% of the country, 10% of the country ate 50% less meat or consumed way less plastic, it influences the whole structural dynamic of the capitalistic system we have, right? Like if if people stop buying as many water bottles, plastic water bottles, and start using reusable water bottles or start whatever, like that industry is going to become more expensive. What's this?
Slowly
He's grabbing
lowers
his
my water
and, like-
bottle. Whoops. Sorry.
I will say, I think about you every time I go to the refrigerator and grab one of my water bottles, one of my plastic water bottles, because I'm like, Penny wouldn't like this. I really need to stop. But it's like, I bought these a while ago. They're just sitting in there.
I mean, you bought them, and I'm
Right.
like I do think there is like I understand that getting rid of plastic straws entirely can be very ableist. Like there are some people who need straws, and some people like I'm from Michigan. I know a lot of people from Flint. They don't have water they can drink, but
Yes.
but you can buy bigger containers and reusable things of water.
Reusable straws.
Reusable straws.
straws.
Yeah, I just try to do what I can. I try to eat less meat. I try to I've always got, a container if I can help it. I think that I've maybe bought like 5 bottles of water this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I mean, that's got to help. Like I don't feel good when I do get those, but I might be in a situation where I really just don't have another option.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Sometimes,
But-
see, I don't like ice directly touching my teeth. It hurts. So I have to have a straw. So that's the only time I need a straw. But, here's one of the things, I don't know how we got on this topic, but
I hate it when you get a straw in a drink, or they automatically put the straw in the drink.
Yeah.
When you order something from a restaurant and then you get a refill and they take it away and they put another straw down, or they put another cup down with another straw, or in order to differentiate from your drink and someone else's drink, they put 2 straws in your drink. And it's like, oh, come on.
Here, plastic straws were invented in 1970. We can not, like for thousands of years, we did fine without them, and like plastic water bottles. Do you remember? It was like a joke growing up because it was fancy if you had Evian. Evian was the only brand,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And now it was like, that's celebrities. It was the elite Hollywood celebrities that drank bottled water, and now it's like everyone just thinks. I hear people say like tap water's gross, or like that this gross, or I have to have my cucumbers wrapped in plastic at the supermarket, despite the fact that it's like the waxiest.
Right.
It's built for it, or bananas coming in plastic. We're just getting really frail as a species.
When it's convenient for me to recycle, I recycle. And I think that's one of the things that people need to keep in mind. If I go to Starbucks or the airport or somewhere like that, right? And there's a trash bin and it has like 3 or 4 different slots for the different things that you're throwing away. You just say, okay, I put it in that one, right? But when you're at home, you have to do that yourself. You're going to have to make yourself a bin with all the stuff and things in them. And then you're going to have a city that does a recycle program that works with that. So making it as easy as possible. If somebody hands me a paper straw, I'll be like, cool, I'll use a paper straw. Starbucks is getting rid of their straws, they said. They're going to put the little McDonald's type sippy cup lids on the drinks. So fine, I'll use that. It's like a flat lid, except it has like kind of a lip that comes up on it with a hole in it. Looks like a sippy cup.
I just think we've gotten so used to just like these little things, they add up. And I mean, yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but it's not that far long ago that these were novel ideas. Like
Yeah.
Austin is dope because we have they provided us all little compost bins
Oh,
and
cool.
compost trash cans. So
That's awesome.
just being at home, it's really super easy for us to be like, oh, that's compost, that's trash, that's recycling. And then, like, we get packages, we save the styrofoam, and just, once every couple months, I drive it to the recycle place for styrofoam.
There's a
it's-
styrofoam
But
recycling?
see, they made it easy for you, and that's what
Yes.
helps.
But that's people doing little things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives a reason for those things to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in communities where granted, I understand that like people who live in the country, live in other parts of the world, that it's not going to be as easy. I get it. But we can also think about like, that's a good reason to buy local. The more things we ship, and then granted, like, again, I order things, but if I can buy it locally, I try to, because then it's not shipping, it's not styrofoam, it's not, I don't know. I try to think about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to have an air hockey rematch with Raid Zero?
Okay.
Damon
I was
wants to
so
know.
cocky. I want it more than anything.
Okay. Just making sure. We're gonna have to work
That's
that
funny.
out.
But he worked that table for like 20 hours. He's too good.
Mhm. Okay, when's the next
Until
time
the
you're
old
gonna see
man
him?
picked us up.
Camp Mograph is the next time. They don't
Yeah.
have an air hockey table.
Are you into ping pong?
They do have that.
They
I
do
will
have that.
destroy him in ping pong if that's
Okay.
what it
Alright.
takes.
Okay.
It's on.
I'm gonna have a montage where I practice and like play ping pong
Yes.
against giant sides of beef.
Like two-handed
Yeah.
ping pong, yeah.
Yeah.
We need to get a round table thing going with the ping pong. Like we've done this a couple of times. We did it at
Seagraph. Yeah,
and
that's
then
fun.
at NAB East, where like you get like 20 people all going around a table, and like you just hit it once, and then whenever one person misses, they're out.
What's it
and then they
what's
throw
it called
their-
in the UK
they-
though? Lighty bouncy hitty thingy?
Oh god.
Like what's the
Soccer.
soccer? Everything's called soccer.
Air soccer.
Yeah. 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 It's called flipsy flopsy tennis. That's how.
Flipsy flop.
Yeah.
Right.
There is ping pong at Camp Mograph.
There
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many competitive options are there going to be? Like how many?
Oh man.
Plenty, I'm sure.
I mean, you
yeah.
could turn all
Is there
of
going to be
them.
like kickball and
You could turn everything into a competition
Yeah.
if you really
Canoeing, fishing.
Yeah.
You could do a competition on that. I like that idea. How many fish can you catch?
Yeah, right.
How many archery? You could definitely compete in that.
See, the secret is you catch one fish and then you just like keep catching that same fish over and over again. You keep throwing it back and catch that same fish.
That's a dumb fish. Really
That is a
dumb fish.
really dumb fish. Yes.
Okay, then you're gonna have
I'm
to
sure
make.
the
You're gonna have to have
insides,
proof.
It's just tore up by the end of it. So worth it.
You're gonna have one fish, two fish, red fish, and a blue fish to win the whole contest. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that was bell
I
worthy.
try fish-a-thon.
Yeah. What else are we gonna have in the
Yeah,
competition? There is basketball, skateboarding.
Are we doing
skate
a
park.
hot dog eating competition too?
I think we should.
We've talked about it.
We
Yeah.
have to sign a waiver, but if you choke on these hot
Yeah.
dogs or throw up from eating all of them, it is not our fault.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's a terrible way to go.
yeah, that would.
You
be.
guys remember Billy and the hot dog situation?
the hot dog incident of Aught 19.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about
Aught
that
19.
anymore.
All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I just took some painkillers, so I'm not gonna last much
Oh,
longer
boy.
here. All right, you can rate us on iTunes. You can leave a review. You can subscribe. It all helps brings our ratings up on your podcatcher of choice. Don't just download the episode. Come on, subscribe to us. Help us out. You can tell your friends as well, and you can sign up for the newsletter. You can say you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt with the Mograph logo tee, the Paul Babb, Feel the Babb 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. And then the Render Things shirt and hoodie. Totally relevant right now. Get yourself that t-shirt, hoodie, or long sleeve tee for the wintertime. And that render is fire shirt, which if you were an entry, I'll be contacting you for the Monkey Legs contest, and I'll get you a little shirt for entering. That'll be fun. And of course, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, YouTube, Mograph.com. Penny, where can people find you online?
That was a really long pause.
You can find my website at pennyz.com. You can find me on Instagram at Baffled by Foxes, and Twitter. I don't know what my Twitter is.
Isn't it also? I think it's also
Twitter is
baffled by foxes. I
It is
did the
Baffled
promo.
by Foxes on Twitter. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna get out of here and keep prepping for SIGGRAPH, I guess. So, until next week, I'm Dave.
I'm Matt.
I'm Penny.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.
Bark, 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 bark. Bark, 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 bark.
Meow, 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 meow.
Okay, we just got an email. Josh Foster says episode 39 starts at 1:10:57.
All right.
Matt can't control his laughter.